That means we're going to have to fight for ourselves. As the room fill up, be sure to smash upon the like button. Sharing is caring. Understanding that it is what it is. Over here in Cowboys land, appreciate you and all that's tuning in. Let's go. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. We stand alone, baby. I like it like this, baby. I love being the underdog, even though we on top of things, baby. Come on. Yup. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation Grove? Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on. It's Friday. Happy Friday to you and you and you and you over there. Shout out to you all that's everywhere we in here. Come on. Tell them. What is your profession? All right, one love to you all. Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. The name is Law Nation, and we talk Cowboys football and beyond. And of course, last night we got a chance to have a beautiful opportunity to see football, man. Oh, we saw some football. Ain't that right, Jana? Appreciate you. Oh, ain't that right, Sean? Shout out to you, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Lamar Odom, appreciate you, fam. Yeah, we on a quest for 6, man. So, hey, right now we talking to the people that's on a quest for 6, not the people that's on a quest for 2, not the people that's on a quest for 4 or 5. We on a different quest. And hopefully, man, this year at the end of it all, we can see what we wanting to see, and that is lifting up that Lombardi trophy, and that is what we supposed to do. But we stand alone. It just hit me that the guy that won 10 straight games versus the Giants, and we can say, okay, well, it's not the individual. It's not an individual. It's a team sport. Yeah, we can say that, right? But that means that the man is being disrespected. Man, God, dog, man. There are more people that's elevating and pumping up Daniel Jones juxtaposed to what we have. There are even Cowboy fans who would probably prefer Danny Dimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's a crime. Ain't that's right? Jay Versick says, thank God it's Friday. DC for life. Appreciate you, man. If you guys are new here, just type in new media if you're new here. You know, if you've been here, type in new media. You know, if you've been around the block with us, type in new media in the chat. Brenday, what's good with you? Appreciate you so much. And shout out to you, Eric, for the 50 over there on the Facebook side of things. Appreciate you, man. Cowboys football is back. Slay those Giants. Your boy, Bad Dog, it was tripping with the narrative about the elite. Yeah, man. Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, for those who don't know, man, Bad Dog, he's a good guy. He's a real good guy. And I did everything in my power not to press that button, you know, the ultimate button, because he's my buddy, man. He's a good guy.
So the cocaine's happening.
I wasn't going to do him with that one. You know, I wasn't going to do him with that one because he truly believed in, and like I said, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, right? So I'm not finna go back and forward over Troy Aikman and the great, you know, Roger Staubach versus Eli Manning. You know, you can't fight everybody. Ain't that right? You don't supposed to fight everybody, right? So that's just what it is. Look, Chris214, appreciate you, dog. And King G says, man, come on, man. We ain't going to call him a clown, though. He's my guy, man. He's a good guy, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I forgot the guy's name yesterday. Somebody got mad at me and said, Law, you too nice. Law, you flat out too nice, man. We want some back and forth stuff, you know. I'm not finna do the man like that, but we finna do the man like that right here, though. We finna we finna play this audio, man. Hold on.
Elijah Manning. is better than any quarterback Dallas has ever had. That's right.
Let's just hear him out. Hear him out.
Elijah Manning. That's right. 2-time Super Bowl MVP. That's more Super Bowl MVPs than Aikman won. That's more Super Bowl MVPs than Staubach won.
What are you implying? Are you implying that Eli Manning is better than Troy? Listen.
I'm not implying. I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
What?
Troy Aikman had 1 year.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
What?
Troy Aikman had 1 year in his career where he threw for more than 20 touchdowns. One. He threw 165 touchdowns and 141 interceptions behind possibly the greatest offensive line and one of the better running backs, not the best, but one of the better running backs in the league. Well, he was one of the best running backs in the league at the time. He ain't best overall. We all know how I feel about Emmitt Smith. I'm not going to get into that. That's a hard day.
My gosh,
come on.
Who's with
Eli
us,
Manning
man?
is top 10 in every major passing category. A 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Only a handful of quarterbacks have done that. And every Super Bowl, every quarterback that's won multiple Super Bowl MVPs is in the Hall of Fame. Elijah Manning is better than any quarterback Dallas has ever.
Shame.
Man, I will say this, though, Eli Manning, well, he went to the playoffs 2 times in his career. I think he played for 16 seasons or was it 15 seasons, something like that. And he caught me by surprise. I wasn't even prepared to even debate. I don't think there's a soul that roots for the Cowboys would ever think in their natural life that they will be debating Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach versus an Eli Manning. See, nobody wasn't ready for that one. That was really, come on.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I mean, come on. Nobody even thought even to debate that. Even the old conversation that we had the last time about Emmitt Smith versus Tiki Barber. So he really think in his mind that Tiki Barber is better than Emmitt. So that's a whole nother conversation too, because let's listen to Tiki Barber too, by the way. Let's just listen to him one more time. Let's listen to what he had to say, because I got it somewhere down here. I've been tweeting. Hold on. Here it is. Let's listen to Tiki just one more time.
Got 100. I'll take Daniel Jones over Dak Prescott 100 out of 100 times. And I think most people would agree with
you. You think most people would agree with you?
Most people would agree
based
with
on last year,
based on,
I'd agree with you, but over their careers, no, I wouldn't.
Based on the projection of where both of these players are going.
Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
I mean, so nobody even thought about having these debates, and you can't argue with everyone. Those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So I want to go with this. I will go back and forth with some of the Cowboy fans, right, and some of the Cowboys content creators on Cowboy stuff. But outside of that, man, some of the Eagles, the Washingtons, the Giants. See, y'all see what I'm dealing with, man? Nobody was ever ready to go over that type of conversation, right? Nobody was prepared for that. Come on, man. Sadiq, appreciate you. We are coming, Cowboy Nation. Stand firm. The Cowboys will be marching on those Giants. 33-14, Dallas. Yes, I said it. Now get them likes up. Y'all better listen to it. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Yeah. Still fumbling, yes, indeed, Lamar. So, and this is what the reality of it all, the Dallas Cowboys, the reason why collectively we don't have hate in our heart for the Giants, for the Washington, for the Eagles, because we've been above them, It's like somebody staying in a palace and they driving down to the slums and saying, hey, man, we hate these people. You know what I'm saying? We hate the peasants. No, they just get on our nerves. They are like gnats at a barbecue. They are like flies at a cookout. They just pesky. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? We get a fan and we blow them away, right? We spray some stuff in there, keep them away. And then as soon as that dissolve, they come right back at you and say these things. Well, what have you did in 30 years? What have you did in 30 years? Well, we've been doing enough for you guys not to catch up. We've been doing enough for you guys not to pass us on a lot of things, right? So that's just what it is, So it is what it is. But yeah, facts. We own them. Yes, Kings. Appreciate you. So sometimes you just got to pick your fights, pick your battles, and you can't change everybody's mind, right? So in his mind, Eli Manning, if he wants to believe that if you put wings on a pig and paint it black, it can fly, then let him believe that, right? But see, here's the difference between believing and knowing, right? You see, T.A. Cowboy, you know your family, right? You know who your mom is. You know who your father is. You don't believe who your mother is. You don't believe who your father is. See, that's the different levels of knowing versus believing. You see, believing is things that are not really tangible, but you have faith to understand. But now I'm teaching over here. But knowing something is beyond the belief aspect of it. So when you know a thing, you don't have to believe something, right? Because you already know it, right? I know that I have facial hair. I don't believe that I have facial hair. So that goes so many levels that it may not hit a few people until like the year 2030 or something, or 2045. And they say, man, dog, that law was giving us gems over here, man. God, dog, come on, baby. Come on. Yes. So in other news, there was a report out, and let me see if I can find it right quick. Let's get out of this one, and we'll go right here. We'll go to ESPN, and Waller been on the injury list, and he hey, it's just how it goes sometimes. You may think everything is fine and dandy, and then all of a sudden, boom, Darren Waller, according to ESPN and other reports and beat reporters around the globe, says he is questionable. On September the 8th, he is questionable for the game on Sunday night. And that's a big name on their list. Cam Brown, shout out to him. Wendell Robinson, appreciate him. Owens and all of this guy float. They are all doubtful. But these guys are questionable. And then when we stroll up, we can't have a parade, of course. Tyron Smith, he's questionable. And then Sam Williams, he's questionable, according to this report that was submitted out to ESPN. And, of course, doubtful is a little bit scarier than questionable, but it's doubtful that Tyler Smith will play this weekend. But I would say this, if you are foolish enough to take this and say, all right, well, we're going to blitz and send a house to Randy Prescott. We're going to send a kitchen sink to him. Well, what if I told you since he's been in the league since 2016, he is one of the most deadliest quarterbacks in the National Football League against the blitz? Let me repeat for the person way in the back. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League against the blitz. I think he's number 3. I think you got Aaron Rodgers and, believe it or not, Russell Wilson still up there against the blitz. So send the house. Send them, blitz them. Sure. And you better make sure you get home because Brandon Cooks ain't no one to sneeze at, baby. And just right echoes, he says, Law, I love our boys, but I have the Eagles winning the NFC East. Their roster is just ridiculous, and these injuries revealed our lack of depth. You got the Eagles. They are missing their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator, and they changed out 8 players on their defense from last season. 8. I saw C.J. Gardner? That was his name for the Detroit, making all type of plays. I don't foresee whoever they went and got making those type of plays. I don't foresee that. And if you were to attack the Eagles in any shape, form, or fashion, it was in the middle of the field last year when CJ went down, Gardner, But injuries are injuries, and I don't foresee. Fletcher Cox had, 7 sacks from the interior last year? And the other guy, Hargrave, he had about 12. I don't foresee Fletcher getting 7 again, right? He was long in the tooth last year, and some of those came because of Hargraves. They don't have Hargraves no more. They are relying on big Jordan Davis to stand tall and step up. Hopefully, I don't wish no injury upon anyone. Hopefully, whatever Jalen Carter and that guy put together, they can do some good numbers. But that's a good hope for them. You got one being a rookie who's normally from the interior, gives you anywhere probably, if he's really good, 3 at the most from the interior. He haven't got his man body together. 3 sacks, and that's what I'm talking about. And big Jordan Davis, you might as well say last year was a red shirt year for him. So I don't think that they're going to deliver the same type of pressure that they did last season. Now, Echoes, I do love the objective analysis of what you're saying, basically, due to the lack of depth that we have. But our wide receivers are better than what we were last season. The tight end, for whatever my guy Jake Ferguson did last season, is going to be a step up and above for what he did this season because he's knowing more, right? And of course, we can say, okay, that's a straw man's argument. One can argue the same for the Eagles, right? And if you want to take that, you can take it. Our only reservation on this team, and it's not safety room, it's not the actual cornerback room, and we play so much nickel, so I'm not even going to chalk that up as the linebacker room, and it's definitely not our defensive front. Our only reservation is O-line for your mind. Yeah, the only reservation. Jay Recruiter says no team in the NFL has an O-line depth. Cowboys will be fine with good rookies that they have. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Speaking of that, here's how it goes. It's a twofold situation. Right? Some people looking at the opposing team and what they have, and there's some people looking at what we have, right? And what we have is a weapon. And I'm talking about beyond Weapon X. Let my guy, Brian Baldinger, speak on it.
On Sunday night, the Giants are going to have to deal with the MPP, the Micah Parsons problem, like they've been dealing with them. The last 4 games where the Cowboys are 4-0 against them. Here, the Giants are in 6-man protection. Cowboys only rushing 4. But watch Parsons here. Just blow this whole thing up. And gets to Daniel Jones right there and blows him up. All right, that was even against max protection. Now, the tight end's going to chip right here. Bellinger's chipping. All right, but it's the same thing. It's just a 4-man rush. And Daniel Jones gets flushed, and here comes the MPP getting Daniel Jones right on his Jones as the ball goes out of bounds. Now, like right here, he doesn't get credit for any of this. But watch what he does. He beats Andrew Thomas and he blows up the back. He blows him up and he runs him over. Daniel Jones is just trying to get the ball out of his hands. And then if you try to go play action right here, and even if your left tackle gets a great jump, like Andrew Thomas does right here,
man,
he still has the ability to beat you around the corner on a deep drop and slam you into the star. You got to have an awareness about where he is and how he operates.
Get off me. Get off me. Shout out to my guy, Jason. He says you can book it. This 42-13, whooping on the Giants. And one of the things that I want to go over, too, and I appreciate you, Jason, for the super chat, man. I really do, man. Appreciate you. You can have Megatron, Jerry Rice, and Randy Moss out there. The quarterback still got to get the ball out. Did you see how Parsons was just he was flying around that corner. That shoulder bent around the corner, right? Now there's tape out there that he's going to play right and left, right? And that's all he's going to do. He's not going to drop back in coverage this year as much. So Jones still got to make those throws. And there's a thing that we call coverage sack. Coverage sack. And granted, Jalen Hyatt fast. I get it. The quarterback still got to get him the ball. And last I checked, as fast as Jalen Hyatt is, Kevontae Turpin on our team is faster, right? Let me know who's faster. I know Jalen Hyde, a lot of people are scared of his wheels, right? But also, it is a situation and scenario that, my guy is faster. Q-Dog says the Eagles roster is worse when they lost Hargrave and the safety Johnson that had 8 INTs. Stop it. And they lost all of their defensive depths on defense or defensive depths. 2 new coordinators, right? So here's what I got. Here's what I got to say on the Eagles. We will absolutely, I can't talk today, absolutely see the Eagles week 9, right? Our focus is right now is the third team in the NFC East from last season, the Giants. And we got to set the tone, seize everything. Them boys got a chip on the shoulder because no one is standing up for us. Look, we saw an INT just last night, right? And everybody was giving them praises on, hey, man, if this and that would have happened. Let me see if I can find it. Appreciate y'all patience with this. And we'll go to it. Here we go. Oh, hold on. I went by too fast. Here we go. Yeah. Mahomes. Oh, my gosh, Mahomes. He looked like Dak last night. Pick 6. Where was he going with the ball? The ball hit him in the heads, and he still had heads of parquet. Kadarius, Tony, come on, man. Tony. You know what I'm saying? All right, and then Dak, is a choke artist, right? Because the narrative would be if Dak Prescott was throwing it to Kadarius Toney, right? They would have said, hey, he was a former first-round draft pick, right? He's supposed to be able to float the ball in there, and it's supposed to attach to his hands and glue into there and be that substance of greatness. And I heard a lot of people saying that, Pat Mahomes got 2 Super Bowls, right? Well, granted, Pat Mahomes had Andy Reid. We can go toe for toe and line for line, left and right on who had more versus who had less. I don't think that there's a soul that's watching me right now and saying, hey, man, I tell you what, let me order a Jason Garrett, you know what I'm saying, and the quarterback Pat Mahomes versus the Andy Reid and a Dak Prescott. I don't think y'all would do that. Rightfully so. Shout out to Jason Garrett, but there's a reason why he's not coaching no more, right? We had him for the first 4 years, right? And on top of that, when we finally got Big Mike McCarthy, they said, hey, let's keep the Jason Garrett playbook. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the philosophies and the principle. And on top of that, Mike McCarthy, you can be the coach, but we're going to empower the offensive coordinator. I think the offensive coordinator had more power than the head coach. Law, do you have any truth to that? Yes. Coach come out front center stage and say, hey, I don't like option routes. I don't like stop routes. And then the next thing you see is option routes, stop routes, right? Like, where did that make sense at? He had more power than the head coach. Equivalent. Law, do you have any truth to this? Do you have any rhyme or reasons? I'm going to use Sheila Neal as a subject matter right here. Sheila Neal, let's say I don't know if you have a son or a daughter, but you telling your kid to go to bed at 8 or 9, and you saying, hey, it's time to go to bed at 9. And then your child say, well, I don't like to go to bed at 9. I'm going to bed at 12. What you think is going to happen if he continue or she continue to go to bed at 12, and you supposed to be the authority figure, you supposed to be the person in charge, and then every day you wake up or every day you go around, they sitting up there still up at 12. That took all the power from you. That is what was going on over here. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Derek Harris says, Law, not to mention all of those false starts, but only one got called. If Cowboys did that to our coach, it would get crushed the next day. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or that 4th and 25. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? That 4th and 25. Dallas Cowboy hard hitter said CPS calls because I'm breaking. Yeah. You breaking some backs around there. CPS, you know. Pat Mahomes get a pass because he still got 2 Super Bowl rings. Well, Eli had 2 Super Bowl rings. You want to go back to that storyline? I'm just messing with you. But I'm not saying. And here's the other conversation for y'all. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is better than Pat Mahomes. I'm not saying that. That's not even in the conversational piece right there. But for damn sure, Andy Reid is better than Jason Garrett. Who want to fight that? You know what I'm saying? That's not even up for debate, right? And Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy for dog sure is better than what we had out of Kellen Moore, as far as people working together as relates to their schedule, as relates to what they did out there on the coaching field. Come on, Idris, appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. We got, if Mike McCarthy made that 4th and 25 call, he would have been destroyed all day today. Yes, indeed. He did that before on 4th and 20. I think it was the pandemic year. We went for circus plays on 4th and 20 against the Washington team. We were still in the thick of it, right? And then he went there 4th and 20. They said that he called that, and everybody like, hey, you know. Winfro says, Micah Parsons was a dog last year, and I can't wait to see him this year after adding 20 pounds of muscle this year, which is stronger and faster this season. Yes, so Parsons, he's extra motivated. He's extra dedicated. He got the writing on the wall of what he can become far as a remuneration. Law, do you have any truth to that, Bosa? We've been saying this for a couple of years now. Well, 1 year at least. Parsons is better than Bosa. I'm going to stop saying it a little bit because, shoot, he going to want to get paid better than him too, you know. But Parsons is that dude. Hey, y'all do me a huge favor. Y'all stop saying it too. Yes, indeed. Plus, Sky Moore was wide open when he dropped the ball. This is from my guy, Al Kareem. Yeah. And people will paint the narrative that the Chiefs walked out there with a Noah Brown, with James Washington, right? And of course we got CeeDee Lamb, right? And I'm not trying to throw any shade at my guy CeeDee Lamb, but people will paint the narrative that he didn't have a Sky Moore who was a second-round draft pick. People will paint the narrative like he didn't have a first-round draft pick out of Kadarius Toney, although he was a guy that probably shouldn't have been drafted in the first round, but he was still drafted in the first round. Dog, week one last year, dog, sure, we had Dennis Houston out there, undrafted kid, right? Shout out to you, Twin Empire, my brother from the same mother. Zach Luna says, I understand. Echoes, appreciate him. You know, Eagles are loaded. Don't sleep on Jalen Carter. Nolan Smith, who's not even, I think he's not even going to be activated week one, but that's a whole nother story. But that is a good piece for them. Bradbury, right? Slay, etc. Best offensive line, Hurts, Brown, and Smith, right? But I can also argue Dallas is easily on the same level, if not better. This is for my guy, Zach Luna. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And damn. Let the AI speak on it.
Zach Luna, $19.99. I understand jingly. Eagles are loaded. Don't sleep on Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Bradbury, Slay, etc. Best zero line, Hurts, Brown, and Smith. But I can also argue.
She cut herself off. It was too long. But here's the truth. Here's the truth of it all. You know, we're going to go back and forth for a long time on who's this and who's that. In week 9, you know, I think, let me see if I can get it here. Hold on. Y'all bear with me because I can't show the visuals of it. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. We're going to build it as we fly. I think that this dude spoke upon it the best way possible. He broke down like his hierarchy. He broke it all down, and I think he gave the best assessment, in my opinion, of how this should go, right? and let's listen to him right quick. And let me know if y'all know that.
And they are all outside the top 5 for various reasons. For Justin Herbert, as great as he is, and even though I am not a quarterback wins guy, you would like to see him win one big game. For Lamar, you would like to see him look like the player he was his first couple years in the league, more so than the last couple years. For Aaron Rodgers, question is he on the descent down the mountain, or is he about to try to climb back up? And 2, of course, it's about health and availability.
Got a super chat from my guy, Jay Recruiter. It says, Eagles can have the all-22 all-pros, and Dak Prescott is still their daddy. You're right. You're right, because, when we played them last year and put 40 on them, they had all of their defensive starters, I believe, in that game.
And now to our top 6.
Appreciate it for
the toughest one here was, and we can show it to you, Dak versus Justin Herbert. We gave the nod to Dak Prescott for the body of work, and Dak Prescott did have one of the best playoff games of his 8-year career just last season against a very good defense. Josh Allen, while everyone says, Nick, you're a Josh Allen hater, I have always been nothing but a Josh Allen truth teller and have him properly rated while everyone else was trying to wildly overrate him. And now some folks have gone too far in the other direction, have the Bills missing the playoffs. I don't have that happening. And Jalen Hurts, of course, looked like a top 3 quarterback last year, but the sample size is not quite big enough to anoint him in the top 3. And you might say, sample size, what about?
All right, so He gave his analysis, and I keep forgetting his name. Y'all can put his name down in the chat. I think it's Nick Wright, right? That's his name. I ain't going to say the guy with the slip back, but, here's what Nick is basically saying. Is what I've been saying all offseason. It's like, hey, we all like Jalen Hurts. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, man. We ain't trying to dog the brother, right? He's a real good guy, do great things for the community and beyond, clean guy. Clean-cut guy, not out there in the streets doing crazy stuff, right? And on the field, he commands the team. But it's a sample size. It's literally like Costco's. You go in Costco's, them food good. You take it home, hey, it ain't the same. So what we're saying basically is continue to update your resume. Update your resume. Do it again. Match it together. Put some combos together, bro. That's all we saying. And then, if you want to crown him, crown him, crown him. My guy, Jay Recruiter, said, hold on, he's a good running back. And if you want to crown him as a running back, he may be just that good running back. Teams know what to do now against him, and that's just the reality of it, Jay, and everybody that's watching. So my thing is just that. I'm not here to take fecal matter and throw it on him, right? I'm just going to say this, though. He's a real good guy. Real good guy. And speaking of that, let's talk about Mina Kimes. She was on her podcast, and then she gave some objective analysis. She says, over the last 3 seasons, Dak Prescott have been the 4th in QBR versus the blitz. Wow. On Sunday, he faces the Giants, D, that led the league in blitzing last year. And let's listen to what she have to say, because I love her analysis.
The Cowboys offense should match up well with New York. I guess that's what I keep going back to. Like it's Wing Martindale. They're going to play a lot of man coverage. They're going to blitz. Dak Prescott, last 3 years, 4th in QBR versus the blitz. Man coverage, 7th in QBR last season. And that was with, I thought, a group that was pretty limited, frankly, in their ability to beat man coverage as a whole. These receivers should be able to move. Even the run game, which I think we have a lot of skepticism about because of, we just haven't seen it with Pollard. And as much as we love Pollard, and it's a very bad run defense, they should be able to run the ball as well. Ideally not, on first down to no effect. When you just put these rosters next to each other, the Cowboys offense has a lot of advantages. I really, really like the Giants defensive line. I think they're very, very talented. They should be able to pressure Dak a fair amount. But nevertheless, if the passing game looks bad, I would be nervous week 1 with the coaching change because from a talent perspective, they are better.
Let me pause it right here. She said she would be nervous. I'm going to give them grace. I know that none of these boys played in a meaningful game. This will be game 1, and this is my thoughts, my notion on it. Appreciate you, Jason. Let me see what you said before I go into my details here. This defense is just a tip of the iceberg. Wait until we add that missile overshown to the mix next year when two guys wanted to take your head off. Yeah. Or wait until Cowboys might just go and draft somebody next year. We going to jump into the draft. Overshown is going to take, and a shout out to you, Winfro, for the super chat. I would say, and I like Overshown, but I just going to say temper your expectations because it may be a similar story pathway of even Jabril Cox, a person who get injured, who had high hopes and high expectations, and you rush him out there and not allowing this kid to fully recover. I want this kid to fully recover before he get out there and before I put these heavy expectations. He is a missile. I like what he can do. He's like Donovan Wilson, but down as a linebacker, which is really good for us. But what I'm going to say is temper the expectations of the offense having a stinker, because this will be the first time, right, that these boys are all out there with the offensive line, with the wide receiving core. The only difference was in 2021, the reason why we had to say, okay, hey, because Amari Cooper was already here. Let's see, we got another super chat. Appreciate you. Who we got here? We got Bread Boy. Let me see. Dak coming out with something to prove. Strength, his offense behind him, got his back. They hear the doubters. You're right. They hear him strong, baby. Appreciate you. Let me give you another one of those horns right here. So that's just what I'm saying. It may start off. That's why I told Bad Dog last night, and I'm telling you guys now, and I said it before, that I foresee that the Cowboys may start off a little slow. They may start off slow week quarter one, quarter two. Around the third and fourth quarter, we'll pull off. But I do foresee that there should be some check downs and some implementations of the running game to get these boys going. If you look at how Dak Prescott called the plays on the final preseason game, we see that he's a run-first mentality. He liked to gauge the game with the safety, getting those boys to move up a little bit, and then he liked to dissect with play-action game. He's one of the better quarterbacks in play-action, so we should see those type of threats out there with the Cowboys, with Dak Prescott under center, if he's calling his own plays, by the way. We should see Dak attack. Brett Boy says, appreciate the content, big brother. Appreciate you. Chris214 says, a pissed off Dak is coming near you. Ooh, they don't know about that one.
Or they should have advantages. There's clear mismatches on the table.
The Giants secondary was one of the worst in the league last year. And they drafted Deontay Banks, who I think has looked okay at certain points, but they're still not a very talented group. So I think that the passing offense absolutely has to look great here.
So as they say, Omaha here, and he's right. Deontay Banks, big game James, he put tape on him, man, and I had to go look him up, and he was one of my star-studded athletes that coming out of the college. We was like, yeah, and shout out to Big Game James. He said, man, look up Deontay Banks, man. And as good as he is, as brilliant as he is, he's still a rookie. Brandon Cooks forgot more than this kid know, right? CeeDee Lamb, if he fool around and be one-on-one with Deontay Banks, it's finna be a blender fest over there, right? So they do have a safety, McKinnon, right? And they do have a good front seven. And that's most people would say, hey, that's all you need. Law is a good front seven. Well, I come here to tell you that we do got neutralizers. We still have Zach Martin. We still have Terrence Steele in this game, right? And let's not forget about Tyler Biadasz or Tyler Bigger Dish. You know what I'm saying? He's a bigger dish out there. There's a dish, then there's a bigger dish. So this bigger dish may do something to you. You know, Curse is going to eat. Shout out to you. I am the last ape. Shout out to you, man. If they blitzing, there's two ways you could get off of a blitz in West Coast offense. Your flats, your seams. You're going to have your deep, you have your deep overs, right? So if you sending your safety from the top down inside and you running a deep crosser, hey, it's touchdown. Because if it's one-on-one to the outside, that's foolish by itself because there's no over the top. So if you're going to send your linebacker, okay, all Dak needs is a little time and space. And yes, we're going to miss the likes of, dare I say, Ezekiel Elliott. But Tony Pollard, all I'm saying, get in the way, Tony, right? And y'all going to be hearing me saying that if I'm doing a play-by-play this weekend. Get in the way. But don't forget about 40 ounce. He's there too. You know, we'll see if he's built for sitting in there, the A-gap, picking it up. And you can still gash him. Ooh, you can still gash him. Can you imagine if the linebacker responsibility, if he's on force side and he's come down to blitz through the A or B gap, and my guy leaks out, I'm talking about this dude that wear number 42, and it's 9 times out of 10, the linebacker responsibility is outside contained for that running back. And he may not even see him till he's 20 yards down the field. Hey, what's going on? They sent me on a blitz. Deuce! Look at Deuce! Keep listening. Hey, the thing is with the blitz, where the pressure is at, that's where you go. So the pressure is there. If it's on the C side of the formation, then you throw that ball to that C side because it's just about mismatch. Now you got to be mindful of the robber, right? The robber is going to sit there in the sinkhole, and you just got to be mindful to manipulate him. And that's all you need. That's all you need. But I'm quite sure that his indicators and his reads will be there. His indicators and his reads will be there because he's not that bad of a blitz reader. Even the play that people got caught flack on last year against the 49ers, Fred Warner flipped his hips, trailed my guy all the way up the seam. I'm talking about CeeDee Lamb, and he was able to guard it a little bit, but the ball was still there for CeeDee. I still wanted CeeDee to catch that. And on top of that, of course, my guy Hilton was open too on that play. Who remember that? You know, when you blitz it from the inside, the middle of the field is there. It's wide open. You just got to have that. You just make sure that Tyler Biadasz, if Tyler calls out the mic and he point out the mic right, then you should have your time and your measures to get that ball out. Yes, indeed. That bigger dish, yeah. Tyler Bigger Dish, he better figure it out, man. That bigger dish better figure it out. That bigger dish, come on, baby. All right, so with that being said, let's see what they say over here. Hold on. Y'all know how I got to do. I got to put some mask over this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Up yesterday. This is Eli's thought on how Dak should approach every throw he makes.
I think as quarterback, you can never play saying, hey, don't turn the ball over. Like, don't throw an interception. That just makes you timid. That makes you scared to throw it. And I think you end up making worse decisions. I think Dak's got a ton of ability. And so I think he's got to just go out and like you said, be aggressive.
And he was in that conversation with Dan Orlovsky, and we were using the term aggressive but not reckless. And that.
All right, so let me say this. Ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening, y'all really think that this man is reading all of what people have to say about him in the 4-letter, 3-letter networks about what he have to say? You talking about a guy that lost his mom, right? And that's devastating by itself, right? To lose his brother too, that's devastating. To also one season to have the bone piercing through the epidermis, dermis, and subcutaneous, all 3 layers of the skin. And he tried to put it back together. So you mean to tell me that this guy last season, not a soul. I'm like that dude that say, trash. These announcers, trash. Not a soul mentioned that this man broke one of his phalanges, man. A thumb, the opposable thumb. He broke it. Like that's supposed to not even have any implications or any impact to the delivery of the ball. That he's worried now that even when he threw the interception and it hit 8 and 5 Oh my goodness, and the chest plate. And the opposing team runs it back for a pick six, you know. So you think that that's gonna derail that, brother? Shh, it's not. It's not, because so many people are saying that Dak Prescott led the league in INTs. They don't even know who he was tied with, right? They don't even know that, hey, the dude Aaron Rodgers, he had at least, I think, only like 2 less than him last season. Aaron Rodgers had a horrible season last year. Aaron Rodgers get to walk around now scot-free of his despicable year. Don't nobody talk about whoever led the league in turnovers. Hey, he got a free ride all off season because it's forgotten. That's just what it is. Let's listen. Shout out to your coach Marv. He says, and let me give him a horn or something, man. Come on, AI. Y'all supposed to give that man a horn when he dropping that cash up in here. That's okay. I got you, coach. He says, Law, when motivations and concerns meet, deals are done. You know, when motivations and concerns with an S, meaning consistencies of motivations and concerns of the motivations meet, deals are done. Instead of deadline, make deals, right? Sheree says, hey, Law, I'm a Broncos fan. Found out your channel recently. Love the channel. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. We love newcomers, right? Shout out to the Let's Ride people. I got y'all winning week 1, by the way. Y'all do us a huge favor. We win week 1. Come on. Let's listen to this. Mental toughness is Dak. This is from Jay Recruiter. You are 1,000,000% right.
That's really the question here, because there's been so much focus on the interceptions that if he goes out there thinking, well, whatever happens, I don't want to throw an interception, does that get in the way of him playing as freely as you would like to play?
This is part of the good and bad comes being the Cowboys quarterback, because Dak Prescott is not reckless. He wasn't reckless last year. He's never been reckless. He had a rough year. There were some tip balls. There were some bad passes. So if there is any focus in the Cowboys facility on changing the way that Dak Prescott plays to make him less aggressive or less reckless, like he never was reckless, that is a mistake. So I hope that Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones and anybody in that organization is not like, hey, Dak, don't throw picks. He don't do that. It was one rough year. Relax.
No doubt. That's the only guy that I know on national TV that's by himself, standing alone for Dak Prescott. Now, granted, we hear Keys and Michael Irvin. We hear them breaking down like the falsehoods of the interception that Dak Prescott threw in the 49ers game. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I think that Keys and the playmaker know more football or what a wide receiver's supposed to do than we do. You know, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So the way the playmaker broke it down, I'm going to lean on what he said versus somebody in the chat.
You want to talk about a playmaker? That's a playmaker. He made the play.
I'm going to also lean on my own understanding too. You know, they say measure twice, cut once. And when we look back at the tape, those plays had no meaning of being designed and called in those type of moments. Technically, if we see it now, then I will fall on a sword. Not literally, but you guys get what I'm saying. I would say, damn, it wasn't. It flat out wasn't Kellen Moore. I would give Kellen Moore an apology. But 9 times out of 10, I was out there in practice, and I was out there sweating in Oxnard and back over here in Frisco, getting all of this good footage, and I was looking for 4 curls. Only saw it one time, you know what I'm saying, in the opening of the preseason game or what have you. But I haven't really seen 4 curls, right? I seen some plays where we're going to stretch this thing out vertically, and we're going to stretch this thing out horizontally. Yes, indeed. Chris 214. People would believe Stephen A. Smith than an actual NFL wide receiver. Yes, indeed. That's why I give him. Because when I was listening to dude, Skip Bayless this morning while eating my grains, my oats, you know what I'm saying? I got to stay young, so I got to eat my oats and my grain, you know what I'm saying? Keep a good heart over here. I got some wild honey that I put in there. And I was eating, and I got an apple, you know what I'm saying? I'll eat an apple, grains, oats, and apples, man, you know what I'm saying? Make the beard grow. And here I'm seeing Skip Bayless debating the playmaker in keys. I'm sitting like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Where my come on at? No, I'm just going, I was like, man, just hush. They can just take him off the show. Technically, what they should do on that show, put Skip Bayless in the middle, right? And put Keys on one side and then put my guy, the playmaker, on the other side.
You want to talk about a playmaker? That's a playmaker. He made the play.
He should just be the moderator. He should just be the Molly, you know what I'm saying, over there. That's how the flow of the show should go. Put him in the middle. They had the playmaker in the middle, with his Beijing, with a little twist in his hair. I said, come on, with the one earring, come on, playmaker. Take the earring off, put yourself on the other side and put Keys on the other side and let Skip Bayless just be the moderator or something. Come on, man.
On one today, I'll do another one. Because Graziano just said the Cowboys want to be run the ball. No, they can't. That team can't do that. They've got Tony Pollard as their featured back. If Tony Pollard touches the ball 25 times a game, he won't make it to Halloween. I think they're going to have to be flinging it all over the place.
Well, and that's why you go out and get Brandon Cooks so that you can keep the box honest. So then you can have, you can spread the field vertically and horizontally. You think about, can Kenny Galladay,
Michael Gallup.
Yeah, Michael Gallup kind of be back to what he was, kind of like that Swiss Army knife in between in the slot. So you think about it, you have to push the ball down the field, but I'm not taking advice from Eli Manning. He's a Manchurian candidate. You think he wishes anything good for the Dallas Cowboys? Like, he said, no, be aggressive, throw it down the field. Like, Wink, I got you, Wink.
I'll say this, though. Eli did play like that. Like, there was never a throw Eli was worried he couldn't make, and if he threw an interception, he forgot about it 5 seconds later, and he'd try that throw again on the next play.
Yeah, but he has more than 2 playoff wins.
What he preaches. Yeah, exactly. But I think Dak Prescott's fine. I agree with Dominique completely. He's never been an interception guy in his career before last year. I think we can chalk that up to last year being a bad year, and I don't think he's carrying it with him. We talk about his interceptions, but I don't think he's in the locker room going over all his interceptions still. I think he did that early in the offseason and put it behind him.
Well, if he has a couple of interceptions early in the season, whether they're his fault, miscommunications or not, let's see how that affects it, because if you have the great defense, how you say Dominique says they have the number 1 defense, you have to play to that. So that means not being as risky and being able to lean on the defense and play the field position game. So if that's the case and that's philosophy, maybe that changes his approach.
Man, let me just say this, though. I like the highlights that they show. Like, the interceptions that I get it, right? We had a terrible interception in the Chicago Bears game. They showed a highlight of that. Did we win that game in Chicago? Did we beat the Chicago Bears, And that was pretty much, we all said when that play happened, C.D. Lamb made a great business decision. He was like, man, I'm not finna get hit across the middle. I'm not finna get hit. All right, so the interception versus the Colts, they should just take that one out. Did we beat the Colts, man? God dog, man, that just poured on, piling on. Did we beat the Colts? Like, we all knew that when Gallup, when he turned inside, he didn't even cross the doggone route good enough to sink his hips to come back to the ball. Stephon Gilmore, who's on our side now, jumped all over that like a cheap suit. Cheap suit. Oh, 54-19. Can you imagine beating a team 54-19? They say, hey, man, look at the interception. I think we beat the Texans. They showed that one, right? And that was blitz pressure in the face. Ball get tipped and hit a little bit, and he threw it, and he had no business throwing it that way, right? And it was picked off. But I'm quite sure we won that game. Oh, in the Green Bay game, the 2 times that we had the interception, I'm quite sure that we would never, ever see that particular play in 20 years. I promise you, we won't see that play in 20 years where you have your doggone tight end who line inside and you have your slot receiver line inside, and they run the exact same route at the same place. I thought it was troublesome. I thought it was 1996 troublesome. You put two of the wide receivers and tight end at the same place at the same time, troublesome. La 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 la. La 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 la. You probably won't ever see that. Not in this offense. West Coast don't even run that principle at all. I can't make this stuff up.
Time out in the middle of this conversation. Dominique, did you just say you believe the Cowboys may have as good a defense as there is in the NFL?
Yeah, I said as talented a defense as there is in the NFL.
No disagreement.
Okay.
If Dak Prescott then is a top-tier quarterback, they should be the Super Bowl favorite. I don't feel like they are. Do you feel like you're picking them to go to the Super Bowl?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now we're talking.
I picked them to win the division and go to the Super Bowl.
They're going to beat the Eagles in the division.
And
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Beat them too. Yeah, all of them. Why are you looking at me like that?
Somebody get him some milk.
Come on, man. Hey, man, I like Dominique now, man. At least we got somebody on our side, man. Yes, indeed.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so on paper right now, we do have the best defense in the National Football League on paper. Or I'm talking about in the NFC. Let's stay to the NFC. We had the top 3 defense on paper right now. On paper. We talking about paper. On sheets of paper right now. I ain't gonna even trip like that with y'all today, man. Cause somebody lying on me right now. Say, man, Lau said. But on paper, dog. On paper, we re-solidified the interior. Even though Hankins last season was an acquisition mid-season, he went through all training camp this year, and then we re-solidified also by going into the draft by drafting Mozzie. Last season, keep this in mind, there's a guy that wears number 33 over here. He wasn't even on the team. Wasn't even on the team around this time. He was still nursing that neck, you know what I'm saying? And, he will be here week 1 now. That guy's flying out to the ball, right hand to the man. Don't call the Sandman, but call Law. I'm saying it right now. I'm predicting that number 33, Damone Clark, he will be our tackling leader for the 2023 season. He will be. Nick Wright got us going to the Super Bowl 2 against the Chiefs. Yeah. Come on, Nick Wright. I hope all can happen, and then we will do what the Eagles couldn't do. Come on, baby. Let's go. But I just say that this defense have every chance and possibility to be the number 1 defense in the National Football League collectively, right? But on paper, we top 3 right now, right? All right. Pollard gonna do some work in that rain. It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to alleviate right around the first, right midway through the first quarter. So we're gonna talk about slick field. So hey, where your deep spikes? Where your deep spikes?
Talk to him. Why do you disagree? Why do you disagree?
Well, when you look at just the past history, whenever Dak has a dude on the other side that's equal or greater, he's never lived up to expectation. Now, I know he may be able to get over the hump, and there's a lot of excuses, but he's been in the league for 8 years. He's only has 2 playoff wins, and he beat an old Tom Brady, and he won one early in his career.
He lost to Brock Purdy last year. Forget about beating great players. Brock Purdy outplayed him and them in a playoff game last year.
So this is Dak problem. I wonder if he can live up to the pressure, because whether he wants to admit it or not, when you see what Joe Burrow just got paid, an extension for Dak Prescott just went up. And I'm not paying that if I got to pay Micah Parsons more than what Nick Bosa just got paid. So you talk about, they got some credit card bills coming to due, and I don't know if Dak, if he can't prove himself, is going to be on this roster.
I want you to be right. You know me. You know where my interests lie. There's nothing in the world I want more than for you to be right. But that's what it feels like to me. Put the picks on the screen, by the way. Just Sunday night game, monster game, Giants-Cowboys. Split down the middle. Graziano and Bartholomew like the Giants. Go ahead.
I mean, the absurdity of the conversation about Dak, we talk about him like he's the MMA fighter. Like, yeah, he hasn't beaten certain quarterbacks. It's because the Cowboys haven't beaten certain teams. It's not because Dak is not bad.
He's played bad in all those playoff games.
Yeah, lots of quarterbacks play bad occasionally. The point is, this team is really talented, and they have a quarterback who is capable of taking them to the promised land. You can look around the league. Not very many teams, especially in the NFC, have that. Look around the NFC. Who you want if you don't want Dak Prescott? The point is Jalen Hurts? That about it?
Hold up. Geno Smith, I can trust him in a tight moment. And that team is loaded.
Well, we haven't seen that.
You better don't sleep on Seattle now.
But that's.
He said he trusts Geno Smith. Who believes that they trust Geno Smith more? And this is what we have right here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Oh, this beautiful Friday night. It's Friday night. Okay, here we go right here. Come on. You're stalling. Here we go. Come on, here we go. So even Greeny know what the deal is. So you got that kid. He believes in the Giants, Bart, And then we have over here, I got it right here. Y'all bear with me because I love it. I love it that everybody doubting the Dallas Cowboys against the Giants. And they giving Giants great reverence. They giving the Giants great rapport that those boys going to do something. I love it. So we should keep these receipts. You know what I'm saying? Keep it. Make this visible to shut these boys down. You know what I'm saying? So here we go right here. Let me fix it up a little bit. This should be motivation to this squad over here. Pat McAfee, Bart, Dan, all of those boys. They all got the G-Man. Come on, man. So, hey, let me know how y'all feel too. I can't wait for all of this to really pop off and kick off the right way. Yes, indeed. That ninja high. All right. I got a super chat. It says, Bart Scott just said it's been 8 years for Dak, but he trusts Geno like he hasn't been hot garbage. How many years Geno been in the league, y'all? Y'all help me out. How many years Geno, and what round was he drafted in? I need to know. I want to know. I got to know too. I need to know. I need to know how many years he's been in the league, what round he was drafted, and what have he done lately. Of course, he made it to the playoff last season, Yes, indeed. So it is what it is. 2012. All right, so at this time, man, let me see if I can get this other crew on because we having a good time right now, and then we just talking, and then if we have more time, we will see about open things up. Let's get to the other topics here. Come on, baby. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Part because that'll be in due time. But the McCarthy calling the plays, I think me and a lot of Cowboys fans out there, I know the show is and our station is for sure, that we're like, okay, what is it going to be? Is it going to be, man, that offense is completely different from anything we've ever seen, or do you think it's going to be more subtle and guys like Broadus are going to know what's going on?
I think you'll see some things that I think make it more Dak friendly in terms of what they're encouraging Dak to do. Sometimes the best thing to do, my son taught me this term, is just take the profit and don't necessarily try to go for the big jackpot. Is sometimes the best play you can make is the check down that gets you 6, 7, 8 yards and keep moving the football. And I think Mike and Coach Scheide have built that in to the offense. So that if Dak's not comfortable fitting it in a tight window in some cases, sometimes it is the best thing to do is just a check down, get some yards, and play for the next down. But overall, I just think you'll see a lot of things that are that are similar, and then you'll see some wrinkles that are different. And then the bigger thing too is just utilizing the personnel. I mean, you look at a guy like a Cook, really brings a dimension of taking the top off. And what he can do for Dak in this offense, I think can be special. And then I think Mike and Scheide just watching, throughout training camp and on into the preseason, the packages that might come with a Deuce Vaughn or a Turpin. I think they want to utilize all the guys who are dressed. So I'm excited to see it play out. And I know our fans are ready to see it, but we really like this football team and ready to go to work.
My thing is, ladies and gentlemen, how come it took his son to teach him that? Take the profit. Let's not continue to try to over exaggerate things, or let's not try to be greedy, right? Like the Cowboys organization we never build to complement our players. We did the old philosophy of, instead of drafting to complement, we draft to replace, and we never build upon something. Now, finally, we are seeing that this team is actually drafting to complement guys, right? Or going into the free agency to complement. That Stephon Gilmore situation is a deal to complement Diggs, right? To have another DB on the opposite side, right? The Mozzie pick was to complement my guy, Micah Parsons, right? The whole Brandon Cooks thing were to complement CeeDee Lamb. They took the compliment and the comfort away from CD and said, okay, last year, do it. Do it with a guy with an ACL. Coming off of his ACL named Michael Gallup, right? Do it with a guy named James Washington who got hurt. Because we are projecting you to be the number one wide receiver. Do it. It was basically CeeDee Lamb first time out there by himself, and it took him 4 and 5 weeks to get on the same page. One can argue that, he didn't get on the same page until Dak Prescott came back from his broken thumb. So now we're finally complementing. Now we're finally putting pieces together. That's why this vibe and this team feels different, right? Now we can understand that when you see a Tony Pollard, his spell back is similar to run similar like him. Rico Dido, and as well as my guy Deuce Vaughn, which I call him Baby Pollard. So those are very complementary pieces. Let's listen to more what they have to say.
Now, you've given us some really insightful answers on how the salary cap works in the past. And I'm just out of my own curiosity, since you guys are in the numbers and understand it far better than I do, is we saw Herbert got a new deal. We saw Burrow got a new deal. And all of the...
So I'm seeing a lot of people talking about years in the league. How many years did it took Peyton Manning? How many years did it took Matthew Stafford to win that big game, to win that Super Bowl, right? It's not about the years, by the way, because sometimes you can fall into good graces and mercy, right? You can fall into teams that have a good coach. Now, I'm going to say this too. Tony Dungy is heads and shoulders above Jason Garrett. And it took that dude, Peyton Manning, all of those years. It took him all of those years to get there. I don't foresee, if they were to hold on to Mark Levy or whoever that other coach was, I think it's Mark Levy, right? They say playoffs. If they were to held on to him for all of those years, he probably would never won a Super Bowl. But what y'all like to do is, such and such won a Super Bowl in year 2. Such and such won a Super Bowl in year 3. Life don't work that way. Some of y'all are holding this team to higher expectations than what you do. You know, some of y'all staying at the crib with mom and them, and you've been out of high school and college for the last 10 years. Some of y'all don't even make over $40,000 and $50,000 in your 40s and your 50s, right? Some of y'all, y'all got degrees, and y'all supposed to be making 6 figures by now. But y'all holding this team to a higher expectations than your own self, you know? Come on, man. Jim Moore was his name. I appreciate you. Not Mark Levy. Yeah, Jim Moore, appreciate you, Doc Woods. You know, and then y'all will say, all right, well, look at Andy Reid. Well, Andy Reid, he done pledged with the Eagles for all of those years. Y'all acting like Andy Reid, when he got Pat Mahomes, that was like his 3rd year ever coaching. 4th year ever calling plays. That dude took the Eagles to the playoffs. Took Donovan McNabb, who all of the Eagles fans, the fickle Eagle fans, because they booed him. They booed Donovan McNabb. And I heard that some of them booed and scoffed at Jalen Hurts. Some of the Eagles guys are front runners too, by the way. But he took Donovan McNabb all the way to the Super Bowl. They lost by 3 points. In a good way, by the way. But in hindsight, it's 2020. I don't know, man. That doggone Tom Brady was he just went and kept winning, though, But it is what it is. But I get it. You know, all y'all perfect.
Organization has talked about how Dak is going to be here a long time. With the price of quarterbacks continuing to go up, would it not be advantageous to your cap to try to sign Dak to the extension right now, even though he's still got 2 years left?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing for us at this point, just looking at it, we certainly digested it. If you wait one more year, and then, you know, the key for us is just going to be, you know, spreading out, you know, how we pay that. And most of these guys have, you know, some long-term type deals, 5+ years. And, you know, I think if we can do that, it'll be not only advantageous for the team as a whole, but advantageous for Dak, so that we can continue, you know, to put the type of players, give him the offensive lineman he needs to protect him, give him the weapons that he needs to move the football, and certainly have a defense that can get the ball back for him, whether it's downs or just turning the ball over, which certainly our defense the last 2 years, I think first time in many years that a team's done it 2 years in a row, lead the league in takeaways. All those things are important, and no one understands that better than Dak in terms of knowing that we got to get a guy like Micah Parsons signed. I mean, obviously our eyes are glued to not only a Herbert deal and a Burrow deal, but also a Bosa deal, as we've got one of the great defensive players in the league as well.
So can somebody tell me how many playoff wins do Justin Herbert have? I need to know. Can somebody let me know? How many playoff wins do he have? You know, how many years do y'all give him grace and mercy? What year is this for Justin Herbert? What year was this? What? Let me just make sure I'm on the right pathway. You know, what year? Somebody put year 0. How many years Justin been in the league? Bubba Baker, he says, how many years Justin Herbert been in the league? 4 years. What was Dak Prescott doing in his 4th season? How many times he been in the playoff by the time it was his 4th season? How many times Justin Herbert been in the playoffs? How many years did Justin Herbert had without Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, right? Come on, man. And a legitimate 2 running backs. The one that kept fumbling the ball and the other kid. Oh, he got 0. Why they ain't bringing that up? Huh? So, I mean, and did somebody put that answer down for me of how long it took John Elway? If John Elway was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, how long did it take him? Because I didn't see him holding that Lombardi trophy up until he had yellow teeth. And they put some defense around that brother. And they added a running game for that brother. But I do recall I watched that Super Bowl. I'm old enough to remember the Washington team. Ooh, they young. What was that score? What was that score? That dude from Washington, that brother who beat down John Elway. What was that? What was that score of that Super Bowl? Ooh, wait. What was that score? Where my historians at? 42-10. No way, man. Oh, I got another Broncos situation. What was that score with even Peyton Manning when they went to the Super Bowl versus the Legion of Boom? LOB. What was that score that the Seahawks put down on my guy, Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning. What was that score? And he was elite. And what they had to do the next year, they had to solidify what? Well, who did they brought in? They brought in some defensive dogs. They brought in some more offensive weapons. But for some people out here, Peyton Manning was all you needed. You didn't need the defense. $43-8. Ooh, woo. God dog.
So, all those things are things that we keep our eyes on. We're always thinking about how to manage and and make sure that we can keep while we do have some very unique skilled players, keep those guys together.
Now, you brought up the offensive line. If the worst-case scenario played out and neither Tyler nor Tyron were available Sunday night, how would you envision the left side of the offensive line looking for the Cowboys?
Well, we've got a guy in Shuma Adoba who's had experience in this league, and he's ready to go. He's had a good week of practice. They're at the left guard spot, and then certainly if we've got to go to the tackle spot, then, our draft pick, Austin Richards, is I thought he did a real nice job there with our team, and would have he'd be a guy who would step up, and we'll get to see what he's all about real quick when he's going against when it's prime time and going against the New York Giants.
Man, God, dog. My guy Big Lou in the chat, he says 2 playoff wins in 7 years is not Hall of Fame. Get off of the crack, bro. You fighting a battle in there, Big Lou. You probably be on the wrong side of the battle though, bro. Because at the end of the day, how many playoff wins did Matthew Stafford had in his first 7 years? Oh, how many playoff wins that Peyton Manning have in his first 7 years? Oops. It's the same amount that Dak Prescott had too. Wow. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is Peyton Manning, by the way. I'm not saying that. But I can tell you this, and I will fight everybody in here. I'll fight all of y'all in here if you disagree. You know what I'm saying? Peyton Manning had better offensive weapons. I guarantee you that. Oh my goodness, Reggie Wayne and things, sure. Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark, sure. A Hall of Fame offensive line. He had Marshall Faulk, and then from Marshall Faulk, Adrian James, shoo. Eddie had Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy. Oh my goodness, man. That's weapons right there, man. What happened to him? Don't tell me about the defensive side of things. They had a hell of an edge rush over there on the defensive side. And they have a defensive-minded coach, Tony Dungy. Just couldn't get it done. We had the clapper, man. Come on, man. I'm to this day would tell y'all right now, if we had better coaching from 07 until now, even Tony Romo would at least had a Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, Dwight Freeney was the man out there. Yeah, ain't that right? Come on, y'all.
When you were also talking about Mozzie just a few minutes ago, and I kind of wanted to dive in a little more on what you saw in college versus what you saw in training camp, and what might be the difference on a Sunday night for him, because a lot of people were kind of disappointed in the guy. They're like, oh, there's no sacks. And I was like, well, were you expecting that from him in the preseason, especially considering what he does? But what is the expectation the Cowboys have for him?
Yeah, I don't think when we drafted Mozzie, there was, you look at his full body of work at Michigan. I mean, first and foremost, when we get a guy like a Hankins and a Mozzie, what we're trying to do is stop and run. I mean, if we had a... I'm reading the comments too much, man. But I got to read this one. Al Kareem, my dog, my brother from another mother, he says, I don't know, Law. We had some bad defenses for a lot of those years, too. Yes, we did. We did have a lot of bad defenses, but we still had Super Bowl caliber teams, man. 07 team, I believe it was the 08 team that had 13 Pro Bowlers, something like that. Shoot. The 14 team, 2014, I would give you one of those teams could have, if we got our stuff together, the year that Tony Romo got hurt and we had to bring in Kyle Orton for all crying out loud, if we had better coachings. I think that if they would have held on to Bill Parcells for one more year. I get it. 07, they said Camp Cupcake, and 06 let us down in a bad way, but that's a whole nother storyline there. Those were defensive-ready teams that could have made us do something special. Like 21, can you do something for me? We had some teams, man.
2010 team was loaded. We just didn't have the right person driving the ship or selling the ship as it relates to coaching. We were learning on the job. Look, the craziest thing, and it's a true story. Now, let me put the camera on me right quick. Get it off of this right quick. True story. All the Cowboys had to do is just be real with themselves. If they wanted Jason Garrett to be their head coach to groom him, then give him what he needed. Instead of hiring Wade to be the head coach, you the owner, Jerry. Just make Jason Garrett your head coach and say, hey, Wade, this is your defense. I think that Wade went to 2 Super Bowls since he's been the defensive coordinator, since he left here, what have you. It could have been 3. But I'm quite sure he lifted up a Lombardi trophy since he's been gone. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think that we would have had a better chance with Wade because that's when the defense fell off when we got what's the guy? What's his name? What was the Ryans? We got one of the Ryans. I forgot which one of the Ryans, the guy with the big belly looking like Santa Claus. We had him, and then we got rid of him. Then we got the old man who was like 79 at the time, going on his 80s or what have you, Monty Kiffin, and then we went from Monty to doggone Papa Rob Marinelli. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rob Ryan. Yeah. That era of defense, like, out of those choices, I kid you not, Marinelli was the best one, but he was running a dated defense from 2000 and 2001. Whereas he refused to bang on the table to get a true interior defensive guy because he said he liked his orphans. Who remember that? We had George Selvey getting 6 sacks. We had some people there picking up off the streets. The streets. I can't talk today. Benson Mayowa, Benson, come on over here and get you some sacks. Oh, man, we don't want the honey badger. We good, man. We got Xavier Woods. And then when it's time for us to go get a true safety, give us Tristan Hill, who wasn't even a true starter while he was in college. You know what I'm saying? And give me some tacos, you know what I'm saying, before Tristan Hill. Y'all see how we was operating? And guess what the expectation was every year? Nick Hayden, the golden cock. Our expectations every year was still Super Bowl. I can't make this stuff up. We still had the expectation to win the Super Bowl with Jeff Heath. You know what I'm saying? With the other guy, J.J. Wilcox. Those were our expectations, baby. I can't make this stuff up. But let's listen to these boys.
A weakness on our defense, it would be stopping the run. And, when
coaching
we
matters,
thrive
man.
is when we get the offenses into 2nd and long, 3rd and long. And that was the vision for Mozzie. What we did see in Mozzie, too, that, encouraged us is we saw an athlete there that if you transition him, which he did not do at Michigan, he was a 1st and 2nd down player. He played in a square stance, parallel stance, feet were parallel. Dan, of course, does want him getting off the ball. And so Mozzie's,
it's going to take him about a year.
Developing in that area that he can transition into a pass rush, gain an edge, and use his strength and athletic ability to get a pass rush and to disrupt, if not get to the passers. So he came along week by week and just kept getting better, and we're real pleased that he's going to give us anything and everything that we had hoped he could do for us here as we start the season.
I know they're not in y'all's division, but they are in the NFC, and there's some hype behind them. Did you get an opportunity to watch Thursday Night Football? And if so, what was your takeaway from the Detroit Lions upset win?
Well, first of all, I had the pleasure of having Dan Campbell come through our organization. And, I mean, the man is intense. You certainly see that in the personality of his football team, the Detroit Lions. This guy is a fierce competitor, and doesn't surprise me a bit that they're having the success that they had. As we all know, they started off really slow, but boy, he kept everybody fighting and dialed in, and made a hard run at the playoffs last year. But he's just got a football team that's built after his personality. And,
all right. Ooh, you saying the right words. Keep going.
He certainly has, the same expectations of himself, and he has the same expectations for his team. And you see that in the Lions, and certainly they're a formidable football team that should just keep getting better.
All right, so that's the end of that. Let me share this audio to you guys. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. Be sure to check those boys out. They don't do a good job at all. They do a great job. Salute to those guys over there. I'm going to tell you guys, a fruit is something special, right? Y'all love fruit. A tree is known by the fruit it bears. Dan Campbell, what tree did he fall from? I'm going to go ahead and say it. He was a Sean Payton's deal. Sean Payton, what tree did he come from? Oh, a Parcells guy. Now, Sean Payton been in the league for quite some time, right? And we know the extent of Bill Parcells and how long he's been in the league or what have you. So when we start talking about coaching in general, we always ask, where did he come from? Who did he study and learn from? Where did he earn his stripes? And I'm looking at this guy by the name of Garrett, and I know he's long gone from here, and I'm not trying to throw any knives at him, but I am. Who have he produced? Who come from his trees? What are they doing in the National Football League? What things that they have been proven on so far? And we can't find them. We can't find it at all. Leonard Leon Beard says, who is his tree? It would be Quasi. What's the Roll Tide coach? What's his name? Because he was down there for an intern. Yeah, Nick Saban. He would technically. Jason Garrett would be technically a Nick Saban's tree, basically. Technically, right? Because he was the Eberflus? Nah, I don't think that still falls under. Eberflus would be more of a Marinelli's deal. Yeah. Eberflus would be more. We can say that the child of Jason Garrett / Scott Lanahan, because then you will have to argue that it's more Scott Lanahan-ish of Kellen Moore, right? And Scott Lanahan, we don't want to pull up his resume, what he did in the National Football League. All right. Tony says Kellen will eventually become a college head coach next 4 years. I think that Kellen, he got most of his bumps and bruises out the way with us. And I think that he's going to excel. I think he's going to do a good job in Chargers land. If he don't have the high expectations anymore, the lights won't be as bright, and he can get there and get the grooving, right? I'm quite sure that I don't see a regressions on Herb. I think Herb is organically going to do good numbers anyway. Herb got a good, strong arm. He's a tall quarterback. He can evade and elude, and he should be able to work well in those concepts that the Chargers going to present. You see, there wasn't no hate at Kellen Moore, and then they got the firepower to do such, right? They do. But just be mindful that Herb might throw more interceptions this year than he did any other year. Tony said, nah, he trash. Every time y'all say trash, I think of that dude. What's his name? Y'all hit me out. Trash. That dude tripped me out, man. And Beer said, trash. I'm going to find that drop, man. Oh, my God, I'm going to find that drop, man. All right, so it's 9:38. Let's do this, man. I want to talk to y'all anyway, I want to talk to some people over here. Bubba Dub Jr., yeah, trash. I be worried for him. I think you can catch a heart attack, man. Yeah. I be like, man, come on. 657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind. Keep it short though.
There are 2 participants in the conference.
Let's get them.
All participants are muted.
Chris 214, you're live. Chris, you're live. Chris, you're live.
What's going on, Law?
Nothing much, man. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
Hey, man. Now, listen. I might sound a little crazy about what I'm about to say. But let's just say, hey, listen. Both of our starting guard and tackle is out on, like, the left side.
Left side, yep. The blind side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen. I still want to test that gangster, man. Like, I feel like the Giants, their biggest strength are those boys in the middle. I still want to test it.
Right.
I really want to know what we got going on, man, with the running game. And I'm not saying that we can't pass, but hey, like, I really want to see what this scheme is about. What Brian got schemed up in this running attack. Like, I really want to see that.
Well, let me say this though. All preseason, you haven't seen Tyron and Tyler side by side in any game, right? So you've seen those guys getting some reps. So if anything, TJ Bass, or to me personally, 71 is Chuma Edoga, right? He wear number 71. So. I don't want to see him out there for what I see. In practice, I'm talking about practice. So I would prefer to get those reps to Awesome Richards, you know what I'm saying, and just go ahead and do it with that, because I've seen enough of Chuma Edoga. So what I would say here is, if the Cowboys really want to get things going, you get a heavy dosage of Luke Schoonmaker on the left side to Chip, and then you run this thing, and then you see what you can get from there. But go ahead with your thoughts on this, though.
Yeah, no, like, I want to see Bass too, man. Like, right. I don't want to see Chuma. I do not want to see Chuma. I want to see TJ Bass. Hey, he's had a good camp. He had a good preseason. I feel like his mind is right. He's confident. Hey, and what better test to put him out there against? What's those guys' name, man? It's in the middle. I think one of them named like Dexter Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, Dexter Lawrence and Leo.
Like
Leo. Yeah, they call him Leo.
Yeah.
And they got Ashawn Robinson too. They got a good rotation with Robinson coming in. They got good interior front, right? And that's what they're gonna bring. And truth be told, they always had good interior front. You remember, Jonathan Hankins once was over there, right? But keep going.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. Well, I'm going to let you get going, Law. Hey, man, have a good show. I'm going to still be listening. Cowboys, we on our way, baby.
No
doubt,
How about
some Cowboys?
How about him? That's my guy, Chris 214 from the 469. Hey, whenever I open up the phone lines, he's there, man, and I really appreciate that. I got Coach Marv. You're live on the Nation from the 803. Talk to me, Coach Marv. You're live.
What's going on, Law? How you doing, man?
Hey,
man, happy Friday, man, to you, man. It's the Friday before the big weekend of NFL football. We got a good taste of it last night, and we saw guys. We saw guys play football and got a little winded. Both teams got a little winded as they got in the game, but it's life of football. You have to get going. I want to unpack three things, Law. Well, just three things.
Okay.
One, but let's talk about the big elephant in the room. About the guys might getting hurt. As we see in the NFL, there's a multitude of players at this first game of the season that a lot of teams are going to come in with some guys hurt and some guys are going to be out. That's going to be a lot of teams.
right
in this NFL.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to see Chuma Dota. My film observation of him, as I thought he had some talent. I didn't get a chance to see him in the preseason because he got hurt right before the first preseason game went, and I was evaluating. They were that was their second string left side line with Chuma Dota playing.
Yeah.
For the majority of the time, he was playing left tackle. He was the backup to Tyron Smith.
Here's what I got, though, Coach, and it could be a disadvantage because D-Law, we know how strong and powerful he was and is, what have you. And then then they put him on. If you look at the day before, I got tape on him somewhere, and it's circulating. If you look at him the day before pad day, he got beat down by Parsons, which was terrible because Parsons. So, and then the first day of pads, of course, he had to go up against Parsons again. So it could be that, he did look like that because he went up against Parsons and D-Law. And then he got beat up by Sam Williams. So it could be just a matter of circumstances of why I got bad feelings for the brother. But go ahead.
And they worked Son Richards at guard mostly before, and then I saw Richards started getting more reps at tackle when that day in practice that 2 months old got hurt. The next couple of days he had to start at tackle, and then they kept working him at tackle because they didn't have a guard to come in. They kept working him at tackle, and then they they try to work way out at the left guard, and we know how that turned out. But anyway, they tried to do that. So if they go with the combination, I think they're going to go with the combination that has worked together somewhat in training camp. So if both of them are down, that's where we at. If Tyron Smith is, ready to play, if Tyron Smith can play, and you have Tyron Smith out, I would love to see Sam Richards work at left guard. My evaluation of him as working at left guard through this whole preseason was a good, and I think you talk about his power. I think power is his strength.
Yep.
I don't think it is that, and I think he's a very aggressive guy. And we will hope that he does well, but you can coach around those type things. You don't put these guys out. You devise your game plan to be able to highlight their strengths and to minimize their weaknesses. That's what you have to do when you have players out. It doesn't kill your offense, but you just have to take an account of that so you can make sure that you can be safe. And then you allow them to get into the game, and then you start opening them up where you let them have some one-on-one type things where they can build their confidence, but you don't shatter it. You don't do like we did with Terrence Steele, the first play of his home start, put him butt naked out there with the guy from Cleveland and say, block him by yourself.
Right.
The first thing I'm going to get you in that kill. You don't do that.
No, you don't do them like that.
I think we can survive this. The second thing you said was about we talked about it, and I sent you that super chat earlier because you like the tweet that I've made about motivation and concerns, and I wanted to explain that motivations, and when motivations and concerns start to equal on both sides, then deals get done. And what I mean by that is motivation. When both parties are motivated at the same level,
right,
and the concerns, and when I say concerns, that means worries or doubts. And when the worries and doubts gets about the same level, then they sit down and real negotiations really start. Until that point, until they both equal or get equal on both sides, they just talk.
Yeah.
They're not really serious. So when the Cowboys feel motivated, they got some motivations to sign Dak Prescott to extension. And Dak Prescott has some motivation.
True.
Maybe Dak Prescott's motivation might be a little bit more than theirs, but right now the Cowboys' motivation is saying, "Hey, we got a team. He's already signed. We got time to work on that. We trying to think about now.
Right.
We just done all the players that we had the high motivation for at this particular time." And then when we get to the doubt, maybe doubt that has some doubts. Maybe I'll be here long term, but he already knew. And the Cowboys are not going to doubt.
Right.
But you can Jack Martin is a prime example of this.
True.
There was motivations on both sides. Jack Martin set the doubt in because he held out.
He did.
When he held out, he started making the doubt on the Cowboys side, saying, "Hey man, we need to get him in here to get this thing going. We don't want to lose time with this." And then the doubt on Zach Martin's side kind of is elevated because, hey man, I'm losing money. And when the motivations and doubts of each party started to get equal, they sat down and bam, deal is done.
What happened here, Coach Marv, is nobody want to see what happened to the Chiefs last night with Chris Jones sitting in there and watching the game, right? I know the 49ers didn't want to see that with Bosa, right? You know, week one on a woulda, shoulda, coulda situation, and they went on ahead and paid the man.
Right, and the thing about with Bosa, Bosa you knew he was going to get his deal because we have to understand the 49ers are not in the same situation as the Cowboys or a lot of other teams. The 49ers are sitting with a quarterback that's sitting as a Mr. Irrelevant pick that's got 3 or 4 more years is probably making peanuts.
Right.
So they don't have a quarterback on their roster. So he understands that they got money to pay me $35, anything I really want. That's not no question about that. There is no restriction for them. They got one of the least paid quarterbacks in the league. So if I'm a Bosa, I was gonna hold out till I got my big payday because he know that they got the money. So
no doubt, Coach.
No, but that's what I wanted to say. But the last thing, Law, I'm concerned about this game. Not in the fact that I'm concerned about our Cowboy team. As the coach in me knows, every season is a different season. And you don't know until we start lining up on what team that you have, because regardless of the paper, regardless of the practice, we still got to get out there and start performing. We don't know what craziness is going to happen, injuries or whatever. So you really want to get out and perform. And the key to this team right now is let's get through the first 4 games. I don't care if we win by 1 point, a half a point, let everybody talk, but let's become a better team week in and week out, and let us be playing our best football from week 10 through the Super Bowl. And I said Super Bowl.
No doubt, Coach Marr. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. You have a good weekend, Coach. Appreciate you.
You too, brother.
No doubt. Just to echo what Coach is saying, basically, is also you guys got to contextualize this too. Contextualize it in this fashion that even when we start talking about the Chiefs last season, they started off slow last season. They did. And then they lifted up that Lombardi trophy. So how you start is not how you finish. And, of course, you will want to win a game because everybody knows that the NFL itself is week to week. And any concerns that you have this week will roll over to the next week. That's just how football is in general. You want to have your best foot forward. So that's why the Cincinnati said, okay, we'll go ahead and pay Joe Burrow the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League or the highest paid NFL player ever, you know. So that's the reason why. And that's just how it goes with the money part of it. All right, so for those who are already in here, we're going to lock it down.
The conference has been locked.
I got from the 307, you're live on The Nation. Talk to me.
Hello?
Yep, you're live. Talk to me.
Law Nation, what's up, big dog? How's it going, man?
Oh, man, all is well, man. What we got here? What's your name? Let me store you in here, man. What's your name?
My name's Lorenzo. I'm from Wyoming, brother.
Lorenzo, man. Okay.
Yes, sir.
From Wyoming, man. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, been a big fan of yours probably the last year, man. And
Wow.
you know, it's funny, bro. Like we talk all this stuff about the coach and this stuff, and bro, I'm born in '90. I don't even remember the last time we were in the Super Bowl, right? Jerry Jones sold his goddamn soul the last time we won it. We can say whatever we want. We can say whatever we want. That's what that man did. So now we got to deal with the repercussions, man. What do you feel about that?
Well, hey, he gotta go back and get on them knees then and say, hey, let's reverse this thing, just wipe it down and say, hey, man, I give this team to Stephen Jones now because I done already sold mine. Stephen still got his, so make another deal, Jerry. Come on, man.
I'm in, bro. I'm telling you, I'm dying over here. I got jerseys galore, and we got a little crew out here in Wyoming, big Cowboys fans. We got the Wyoming Cowboys out here, but
shout out to Jay Novacek too, though. Jay Novacek went to Wyoming, right? Yeah. That's my guy, man. Yes, indeed.
But one of the things I wanted to mention, man, is I'm a casual fan. I don't know the game, right? But I've been watching it for a long time, and one of the things that I've noticed is the last few years, bro. It's like, the question for me is always, everybody gets all hyped up. I got friends that are Cowboys fans. It's our year. This is our year. My question is always, how are we going to hold up on the line the last couple of years, and how are we going to defend the run, right? So, still got them questions, right?
I mean, it's the unknown right now because normally it takes about 3 or 4 games to really see where your team is at and gauge it from there. There have been teams I've seen a Detroit Lions team one time start off 5-0. And they didn't even make the playoffs. And it was the John Kitna team. And they started off hot. The only reason why I know, I have an auntie to stay in Detroit, and she was just like, yay. But it was like, oh, no, by the end of that year. So I just say the good old reference of Bill Parcells, we would know more about his team by Thanksgiving, right? So that's a long time. It'd be cold outside. Right now it's hot. So somebody can argue that it's not real football until it get cold. So all I can say is, as you being a casual fan, just support this team the best way possible. Everything will work its way out, Lorenzo. Let's go, man. Appreciate you for calling in, fam.
Obsessive casual fan.
Obsessive, man. Nothing wrong with that, man. Shoot.
Throw that in there, bro.
hey, it's up to y'all, man, to keep the thing going, man. The casuals. But what you about to say?
One of the things I look at it too, bro, is like you look at, our offensive production last year, and obviously, we're blah, 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 top of the league, blah, blah, blah. But, man, like, the way we got to look at it, too, is, we've led the league the last 2 years in turnovers. So we're getting the ball more. We're getting better field position. We're putting points on the board because of what our defense is doing, too, And I looked at the Kellen Moore offense last year. I felt like a lot of times when we were throwing it, we should have been running it. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
But, I just felt like, man, there was just, it's so hard sometimes, because we got the squad, we got the people, and it's like, what is it? Is it Jason Garrett? Boom, get him out. Is it, Kellen Moore? Is it, it's just frustrating, bro. I love the team. I'm every game, but man, it's like, what are we gonna do? We got to get NFC Championship game. Like, give me that.
Well, before I let you go, man, Lorenzo, I appreciate you for calling in, but now we got football guys, man. I'm not saying that Jason Garrett is not a football guy, but we got football substance, especially with Dan Quinn, especially with Mike McCarthy. These guys not finna sit down and fold and cross their arms and say, all right, just give me the orphans, or, hey, we're going to do with what we got. No, these guys, they understand. They understand that we need playmakers, and there's no excuses at the end of the day. And I believe that that's what they're heading in. And they're not just sitting around just being happy that they got the job, basically. So I appreciate you, man. Hey, let me hear you say it, though, bro.
How about them Cowboys? Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, man. Come on, man. Shoot. That's what I'm talking about. I never knew that my reach is all the way in Wyoming. But look, I love it, man.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. I got Nation, and then we have, Darius was up here, but okay, we got Nation, then 100 grand. Nation, you're live on the Nation from the 682.
What's up? How you doing?
Not much, bro. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you
okay. Yeah, dog. I can hear you now, man. Talk to me, man. What's on your heart?
Hey, I don't got really much to say. It just, I couldn't call it last show, so I got a question about what some people said last show. That's it. Okay, so what Harris said last show right? I'm not picking a fight with him or nothing at all. It is what he said had me thinking about the coaches, right? But my only thing I have to say back to what he was saying, because what he was saying makes a good point, and I agree with some of what he said. My only thing is his mind frame in a win now mode, is he win in the future mode? Because us hiring Micah Parsons is a win now. I want to get my team together to win the Super Bowl right now. You know, versus a coach that doesn't have a very long resume. And I just wanted to see if you can like explain it a little bit more to me.
All right, so let me. I'm trying to decipher because you were a little muffled a little bit. You saying that basically we are in win now mode, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying. Well, I'm asking what was Darius saying last show when he said he wanted one of the other coaches that were available that didn't have a long resume like Mike McCarthy.
Oh, okay. The unknown. They're. No.
I was only saying. I was only questioning what he said because I agree with some of what he was saying. My only thing was, can you explain it to me a little bit better? Because I want to know, is his mind frame in a win now mode or in a win in the future mode?
Oh, okay. Let me break that down all fair. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for calling in, Nation.
No problem.
Good call from a man. So basically, he wanted to decipher what Darius was saying about Coach Mike McCarthy being a retread versus basically the unknown. And it's hard to walk around in these space in Dallas with a type of owner like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is everything of an alpha male. And he's looking for beta alphas, basically. He's looking for someone that he can control, and then someone that he can control to also that person can take over a locker room and beyond. Now, I'm not saying that Mike McCarthy is a beta alpha. You know what I'm saying? He had the traits, whereas I would cave into the ideal of what Jerry is saying. Right, because we seen that, Mike McCarthy said, hey, wait a minute, I won a Super Bowl before. I won multiple playoff games before. So he do have that alpha trait. But, man, when you hear Jason Garrett or Kellen Moore, those are all betas. You know what I'm saying? Big betas with big B's, man. You know what I'm saying? Beta. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that they can motivate and lead a pack of ants in a picnic. I'm on the outside looking in. But we haven't heard those boys lead anything. I'm just saying, But here's my thoughts on this. When you're talking about a retread, right? Somebody who won a Super Bowl trophy before, someone who been down the valley before, you have the expectation that this person can take this team to the promised land. But when it's the unknown, is exactly.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know. Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
So when we say those things, ladies and gentlemen, it's flat out what it is. We don't know if they would have said, you know what, let's go get a Cliff Kingsbury here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing in the Arizona land, but it's not appeasing as it should be, right? And let's say if they would have went with a college coach, or what was the other guy that they really wanted from OU that I think he went somewhere else. I think he went to USC. I don't know. We don't know. But I can guarantee you that it would have been some levels of growing pain. When you have a team like the Cowboys, who's, one can argue, been loaded, we've never been voided of talent. We've been voided of people to put things in the right places because it's coaching, coaching. We've been voided of coaching, not talent, in my opinion. And now that we got a coach who can really bring in football knowledge, wisdom to the table, we are seeing the tiny differences. There are many games last season that we normally would have lost in the last 2 seasons that we won. Normally, when it was like this previously with this particular administration, that the time that one of our star-studded players go down, we lose. We flat out finding ways to lose. But now in the last 2 seasons, one could argue the last 3 seasons, since Mike McCarthy been here, we've been figuring out ways to win. 4 out of the 5 guys on the offensive line moved around last season. I remember in 2017, we got Tyron Smith to go down, and they refused to put anything on the left side of the field to even chip, to help. And we had a guy who was there, was it Chad Green or somebody like that they kept out there, and he got murked out there, bro. We didn't make no necessary adjustments. Dirty said, Chaz, you crazy, man. Yeah, Chaz Green. I know a folding chair in Natchez, Mississippi that can block better than him. All right, so I got 100 grand, then I got VIP. But 100 grand from the 201. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me, bro.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just got finished rooting that Kansas Jayhawks in, so I'm feeling real good right now.
Okay. Shout out to the Jayhawks, man. Yes, it is.
Feeling real good right now, Lord.
Yeah.
Always,
Yeah.
But other than that, man, listen here, man. You can't judge Mike. If Mike would have got the same shot as Dan Quinn right off the bat, then I could feel you, Mike, what's going on, man. It's year 3 in your system. What's up? Turnaround.
Yeah.
This is year 1 in Mike McCarthy's system. Year 1.
Yeah.
And everybody say, oh, he's the coach. He should have just fired Kevin Moore, take control of the ship because he's the coach. No. Jerry Jones didn't give him the keys until this year.
To this year, yeah.
It don't work like that. He couldn't fire him. So all y'all.
You know what he had to do, 100? He had to also convince him to get rid of his project.
Exactly.
He had to convince him.
How hard that was to do?
Man, it's hard, man.
Let him himself.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look. I'm not saying that this ever happened to you. But sometimes it's happened to fellas, man. You know, they become the best friend of the female, right? And then she started dating someone else. And that dude is just running through her, you know, all just in the club with somebody else, you know, in the car with Kamika and someone else, you know, Ashaniqua, just doing everything. And you just the best, you in the best friend room, you know what I'm saying? And then you try to just showcase that, hey, I'm the one. But she's just sitting there like, he just the best friend. That's what Mike McCarthy was. He was just the best friend. Kelly Moore was dating, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Lord, that ain't never happened to me. What happened?
Oh, well, that ain't never happened to me either, though. I'm just saying.
I put them in the friend zone, Lord. I put them in the friend zone, Lord, and they, you know, had to, they
Wait a minute, we are internationally known over here, so you better be careful. You know, Kamika might be watching that. Kamika, in the friend zone, you know what I'm saying?
I put them in the friend zone, Lord, and then they got tired of their man, and they want me to be their man. You know what I'm saying? No, that's how that gets down, man. But anyway, we not even gonna go into that.
No, we ain't going to that, man. Yes, indeed, man.
It's not gonna go through that anymore.
Oh my God!
But that's just the case. I'm just speaking real facts.
Sometimes you gotta wait your turn, like Michael Jordan's son. Oh my God! He had to wait his turn like Michael Jordan's son. Some people gonna go over their head.
Oh man!
Hey, auntie.
This after hours, Lord.
Kids go to bed. Somebody looking up, who's Michael Jordan's son? You know what I'm saying? Who is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife? Oh, embassy. Oh.
Lord, you know what they say, Lord. T.A. George, it's just your turn.
Just your turn. At least. Scottie Pippen for the last 20 years, Jordan the greatest, Jordan the greatest, Jordan the greatest. Then all of a sudden, 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, Jordan ain't the greatest. Oh my God!
It was me.
It was me. That wouldn't have a ring without me.
Everybody thought it was that documentary. He didn't care about that documentary.
Oh, he didn't care about it, damn it. Oh my God. He waited his turn.
Hold on now. Wait a minute, Law. Wait a minute, Law.
He
Wait a minute, Law.
He waited his turn, man.
Hold on. Let's get it right. It was Scottie Pippen first, and then it was Future, and then it was Michael Jordan. Can't forget about Future, man.
Oh my God, I forgot all about it.
I just F your chick and some Gucci flip-flops.
Oh my God, man, this is, we took this shit. Oh my gosh, man. I wasn't ready for this one, man. Oh my God. Oh. Hey, man. How we get on this topic, man?
You want to talk about a playmaker?
That's a playmaker.
He made the play.
On the real, me and your mama are getting real serious.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh.
So it look like I'm gonna be around here for a while. I ain't trying to be your daddy or nothing. But if you need some advice,
my gosh, man,
feel free to talk to me.
And we ain't gonna talk about LeBron James situation where we ain't gonna talk about his mom and stuff. But hey, man, all right, man. So let's get back to. Oh my God!
I can still get them ball players.
All right, man. Let's get it back on the track right quick. All right, so we're talking about Mike McCarthy. He had to wait for his turn. You know what I'm saying? He had to wait for his turn, man. He had to wait for his turn. Yes, indeed.
He had to wait his turn.
Yeah.
And then now this is year one of his system, and we're gonna see the vast improvement, starting with this Giants game.
Yeah. Let me be real, man. I'm gonna quit saying this because DJ Envy he called out Tyrese. So
get your damn act together.
Let me see. I forgot all about this, man. You know. Well, let's go ahead. Go ahead with the Cowboys talk, man. My bad. DJ Envy.
Come on. You got Urban Meyer,
man.
You got Urban Meyer. Hey. Don't forget about Harbaugh's wife.
Man, hey. We are tuning in to the Law Nation late hours. You know what I'm saying? We talking about waiting your turn. Sometimes you gotta wait.
You gotta wait your turn.
You gotta wait your turn, man. Cal Bundy said DJ Envy corny as hell for blindside Tyrese. Tyrese was like, Tyrese with Tyrese. You know, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? What do you want from me? I said, man, I'm gonna box your mouth. I'm like, man, that must be an East Coast slang right there, man. What is that, man? Box your mouth, man. You know. Let me get back to the subject. Let me get back to the subject, man. Go ahead, man. What you got for the show, man? What you got for the show, man? What you got for it, man? What you got for it, man?
Oh,
100 grand. What
crazy,
you got,
man.
man? What you got,
You
bro?
crazy, man. Can't forget about Dak, too. Dak a little player, too.
Oh, my gosh, man. Dak.
God damn!
All I ask.
Oh, I got Kyle Bundy says, box your mouth is a Caribbean slang. Okay, I'm gonna look up the.
That ain't no up north.
There ain't no up north slang. Okay, good.
That's
Good.
That's Caribbean, man.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Okay, appreciate you, Kyle Bundy.
I mean, this Giants game, I ain't worried about the Giants though, Law. Man, like I say, we gonna blow them boys out, man.
Okay.
And I ain't worried too much about the line because of the system. They don't have to sit back there and block for like 5-10 seconds.
Okay.
That ball could be out.
Yeah.
So I don't see that as being too much of a big deal.
Okay.
I really. And then when we run the ball, they gonna be aggressive in running the ball. They gonna make the offense play defense.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense play defense when they run the ball. They're gonna attack.
Yeah.
There's no blocking involved in that either. So I ain't worried. Man, it's the Giants. Well, I ain't worried about it. It's the Giants.
It's Giants, man. We good over here in these parts, man. You know what I mean? We good. We Gucci, as they say over here.
We straight. But let's get VIP in here, man. I know he got something to say.
I already know. Hey, y'all. I've got all my East Coast Cowboys, man. All my East Coast Cowboys, man. Y'all corrected me like, no, man, box your mouth ain't. It's Caribbean, dog. We don't roll like this. Shout out to my guy, Al Kareem. Shout out to all of y'all, man, on the east side, man, because, you know, and I ain't talking about Harold. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody on the east side, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. And I love to know y'all slang because we don't have, we just, hey, man, we just going to say, man, we going to bust in your face, man. We don't do all the boxing, whatever they be said over there. But I appreciate you, bro, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Let me hear you say it, bro.
How about them Cowboys? We don't like them 304.
Okay. All right, man. I got my guy, man, from the VIP, man. If y'all don't know him, man, you know, he hold it down and he get down with the Cowboys. He is a Dak defender, too. Right. Not an apologist. That's two different things. He defend. You know what I'm saying? And he going to get right on in from the VIP lounge from the 860. You're live on the Nation.
Lord, it's VIP, baby. Lord, hold on. Yo, shout out to 100 grand, man. Yo. Oh, my gosh. Lord. Hey, they taking Auntie Pitt to the new level, man. I just don't. You know, I want to know what was going on in that household, Lord.
Yeah.
But they said, hey, the kids go to bed. He said, man, Mike ain't the GOAT. His son is the GOAT now.
Hey, and then like Mike could really stop it. Hey, I don't agree with my son for dating. You know, like, dude, you seen Auntie? Hey, you know how it goes, man.
This is all allegedly and respectfully.
Allegedly, respectfully. Yeah, allegedly.
But Lord, hold on.
Miss Pippins,
Lord,
allegedly.
let me touch the big monkey or big elephant in our room because I see a lot of people are silent. The no gag order, the ocean water drinkers are silent today, Lord. I didn't hear from Darius. I ain't hear from your boy Brandon. They must still be choking on it because I was told, I heard numerous amount of times that a quarterback can put it on his shoulders, Lord. I need you to give this Pat Mahomes some respect on his name because he could go out there with 5 Noah Browns and 3 James Washingtons and win a game, Lord. Lord, I watched the game. I watched that game last night, Lord, and I seen 3 deficiencies. Not only did he not have a top wide receiver, Lord, he's missing Eric B.I. Enemy.
Yeah, they were running some. Hey, what was that? They had, Pat Mahomes and shotgun, had somebody else doing a direct snap. I was like, man, hey, what was that? You know, fourth and 25.
That
like,
drag
wait.
out run on 4th down 3 times, Law. It didn't work the first time. It didn't work the second time. So they ran it a 3rd time. Law. I honestly, Detroit. I'm not even worried about Detroit. I'll be home watching that. I told you I'm going to Jersey for that game, so I'm not worried. I could care less about the 82,000 other people that's going to be in that building because we handing them a dub, Law. What they're not taking any equation. I've been watching tape, Law. How are we going to beat this little blitz package? We got 3 people that's going to kill them with this blitz. One is Cook. The other one we didn't even think about is turn up. We need somebody to have speed and space,
right,
in order to beat these little blitzes. If you once we kill them with that, 2 or 3 of those Cooks and turn ups in space, they're gonna have to get out of that. Now we start beating them up with the run. The second, third quarter, I want, and what we don't have, what they lack, KC lacked yesterday, we have a 4-headed monster. Okay. So we not only have TP coming at you,
right?
We got my boy. We got breaking ankles. We got little Barry. We got little Barry back there with Deuce.
Yep.
So we got Deuce. Deuce is gonna eat up all those little flare out passes.
He will.
That's gonna kill his zone. Dak don't have to force it downfield. Just throw those little flare out. Let Deuce break some ankles. He's gonna turn 7 to 20.
Yep. No, the greatest thing that I seen with Deuce was the Kansas tape when he played against the Alabama. So when I said, when he was able to rock with those boys, the K-State was able to rock with those boys, I said, all right, I'm not saying that Bama is pros levels, but that let me know that, hey, no shoes can be too big
the next best thing.
Yeah, next best thing, yeah.
So respectfully, I'm not like, I know people get caught up in size, size matters. Size only matters in the bedroom. Let's respectfully. So when you're on that football field, his size is actually going to be an advantage for him.
Yeah, advantage
because
all the way.
By time these D tackles see him or get eyes, he's 5 yards past you. You got to bend over to see him. So, Law, like I said, man, I confidently, 38 to 13, Law.
Let's go.
If they get a touchdown, it's by accident.
Yeah. See,
so I'm not worried about them, Law. And look, Law, like I said, man, to our no gag reflex guys on here, I want to hear your excuse now. I want to hear your excuse because there is no such thing as an elite quarterback can win it all. There's no team.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm going to do, fam? I think Sunday morning, I'm going to try to do the round table thing, and I'm going to open up a StreamYard link. I'm going to send all y'all the link, and I want y'all to jump in to go ahead and or it could be tomorrow morning, depending on how everything works out, that I want y'all
Sunday
to go ahead.
Sunday is better for me, Law, so Law, I don't give a damn what day, Law.
Okay. I'm going to shoot the link out, and I'm like, hey, man, you, Darius, Brandon, and Miss Queen, or you know what I'm saying, all of y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all battle it out, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to try to do that in Nation, so y'all can go ahead and talk y'all stuff, you know what I'm saying. I might have to make it to members only channel. I don't know, man, because I don't know, but we're going to do something VIP. Let me hear you say it before I let you go, bro.
Well, you already know what it is. How about damn Cowboys? I ain't a killer, but don't push me. It'll be me up against 82,000, Law. Let's go.
Let's get it, man. Yes, indeed. I'm going to open that thing up, and I'm going to say, all the smoke, Cowboys versus Cowboys podcast. That's what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm going to call that. And I ain't going to put podcast. It's too long of a name. But it's going to be all of the smoke. And it'll be finally those boys, Darius, Nation, Queen, Swayze, if he could jump in, JR, if you still here, bro. I want all of y'all to jump on in there, and I'm going to just sit back. I ain't going to interrupt. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have that episode for y'all, man. I got my guy from the 314. You're live on the Nation.
What's up, Law, man? I'm a first-time caller.
What's up, bro? What's your name, fam? What's your name? Yeah.
I'm Chris Bovance, man.
Chris
up
Bro.
in Kansas City.
Oh, you from Kansas City, man? Okay, that's what I'd like to
No.
hear.
I stay up here, but I'm born and raised in Oak Cliff.
Okay.
With all them Super Bowl parades and stuff back in the day. So,
Okay. So
I've been up in the Midwest for the last 20 years.
Okay.
And been following you when you was down, when you was around 30K. Now you closer to 130K.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
growth. I appreciate that, bro.
yeah, I also want to give a shout out to VIP, Coach Marv, Queen, Swayze, 100 Grand. Like, you stole my thunder for real though, because I listened to the show, but him just as much as you for real though. So I was kind of mad you gave that shout out about the podcast, but I'm glad you finna do that.
Yeah. All the smoke, they giving me names for what we should call it, but it gonna have to be smoke in there, right? So people know that this is not gonna be a friendly. They ain't gonna be singing to each other. They gonna be really going at it and going ahead and knocking things out. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I call it's either 100 Grand versus Darius or Darius versus Nation. I want these boys to get it all the way out, man. In a civil matter with some smoke, though.
Yeah, I can't wait. But I got, on a serious note, who's gonna be our unsung heroes this year? One on defense, one on offense. We had Deron Bland. We don't know how he got on the team, and he ended up being into the starting rotation later in the end of the year. Getting us those timely interceptions, and then we had Turpin on offense. Did his thing on special teams, and tried to transition into that wide receiver 4 last year to try to do a little something. So who do you? We're gonna have an unsung hero on both sides of the ball. We just don't know who it is. But who do you think is gonna be an unsung hero?
Oh, that's a good question. Offense, I'm gonna say Jalen Tolbert. I think that this will be a come out game for him.
That's my big two.
Yeah, this is you got the same wavelength. It got to be Jalen Tolbert, unsung, right. He's gonna be the guy that make that one or two plays that they say, damn, we're gonna have to pay attention to him too. And on the defensive side, oh my gosh, it's gonna be unsung hero. Believe it or not. It's going to be Leighton Van Der Esch. He's due for a good game. He's due for it outside of the playoff 2 years ago against the San Francisco. I know he's not.
Wow.
LVE is going to have an INT in this game. LVE is playing with extreme confidence. Everybody, look, if you talk to any linebacker, the first thing they say is, they picked up everything from LVE. You hear from Damone Clark, you hear from Harper, you even heard it from Overshown. I think that he is the guy, and I know that a lot of people. He's not a fan favorite, but he's going to be the. He said unsung hero. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be the guy like, hey, wait a minute, that's 55. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be him, and everybody going to be like, damn. And finally, the Cowboys did exactly what his scouting report said. He need to keep his pad levels clean. He need help up front. The Cowboys all offseason, well, we got extra help up front. We got big boys down inside, and all he got to do is play hook to flat. It's gonna be LVE. I know it's silent over here, Chris. You like, man, come on, I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but it's all good, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. This is my first time calling into your show.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Appreciate you, bro.
Just keeping it short and sweet. Get to your next caller. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna take up too much of your time.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, Chris. Chris like, man, I ain't calling back no more. His brother said LVE, man. I thought he would at least throw me something, man. Come on, man. See, bro. All right. Hey, Chris, if you still here, Chris, you still here?
I'm still in the building.
Who's your guys, man? I done gave you mine. We took the same guy on the offense.
I was with you on Tolbert. 100% with you on Tolbert.
But what you on defense? What you on defense?
I was more so thinking Harper.
Harper. That's my guy, too.
Yeah. I'm thinking that, they kind of sleeping on, and possibly Sam Williams, he just got too much neck. I was kind of leaning towards him a little bit, but he got, that's going to be a little cloud over him this season. But I think Harper going to be jumping out the gym for us, and we just really.
Are you saying for the season, or are you talking about just for this game? Because I was saying just for this game. For the season, Harper
for the season.
Oh, well, damn, man. I mean, you got the same guy then, Harper then. Shout out to Harper and shout out to all of his people, man. And Devin Harper.
I think they were going to be the guys.
Those going to be the guys. I thought you were just talking about for this game coming up. So, hell, I'll go with Harper for the season. Look, the future, hear me out. For the future, is going to be Overshown, Harper, and Clark. Those going to be your three, I believe, for the future, your linebackers. Those are your three linebackers for the future. What's your thoughts?
No, we ate crow on Noah Brown because we had CeeDee Lamb getting double early in the season, and he was available for us. So I'm seeing Tolbert probably being that same guy where he's going to be available. He's not going to see a lot of double coverage, and he's going to be able to do his thing, get some some yak out there for us. So and then on defense, I'm seeing Harper. A lot of people might not be targeting for him, and he's just going to get some targets and maybe that possibly some interceptions like he was talking about with LVE.
Yeah,
we
coming, bro. Appreciate you, man. Salute. It's Chris, man. It's Chris Brovance, man, from Oak Cliff. I'm saying for the future, for foreseeable future. Don't y'all know how fast that is? That's a fast linebacker room. Harper's a 4.4 guy. Sub 4.4, 4.5 guy. Yeah, more on the 4.4 side. Yeah, that's fast. And then we seen Damone Clark last season run 22 miles per hour on one. Oh, it was a 21 miles per hour to hawk down somebody, I believe, in that Chicago game, Justin Fields. And we know what Justin Fields, a 4.4 guy? He hawked him down, pushed him out of bounds. Yeah, so for the foreseeable future, and, of course, we're going to be looking at J-Ron Curse, but it is what it is. I got Cowboy Dwayne in the house, man. What's good, bro? Yo, Cowboy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for taking my time, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Y'all wild now. Y'all got me and my wife over here just cracking up on y'all.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, she probably looking at like, what's going on with Scottie Pippen and his.
Oh, it's storming up over here, It's storming up over here in Funky Town, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
But what I was going to say, you had the caller earlier was talking about the coaching.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
I would say the last alpha coach that we had was Parcells. So all the other coaches that we had since then have been them kind of coaches is like everybody get a participation award. Yeah. And I think since McCarthy got a little bit more power, and I think he's going to turn out to be like a Parcells. You got to prove it to be able to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm looking forward to Mike McCarthy doing his thing. So
yeah.
And no more Kevin Moore, so hey, I'm just looking to see what he's gonna do.
I think Mike McCarthy will move his weight around, and most of the time, Cowboys don't really like that. They didn't like when Chris Richard was in the huddle with the Cowboy players, and they run over there to the Eagles guys and got into the face. They didn't like the bravado that Mark Colombo brought to the table, and you heard about the fact that they didn't like Kittner. You know what I'm saying, John Kittner? They didn't like those type of guys that will bark and give you a lot of bite back to the front office and beyond. So they wanted people to be more, bending to what they like to do, and that's just how they like to run their house. But go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm not even worried about our offensive line. I mean, we got rookies. We got people who can put in places for in depth. It's better for them to get hurt the first game of the season versus that very last crucial game of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see what Bass and Richardson's gonna do, because them boys they beasts. They can hold their own. From what I was saying in the preseason, I believe they can hold their own till both the Smiths come back healthy, 100%. So I don't have no problem with that. And another thing I was wanting to say is I'm hoping Jerry's looking at all these contracts that came out and being proactive. With one boy getting 5 years, $275 million, another one getting 5 years and 172.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Jerry being proactive because pretty soon Parsons' contract will be coming up, and you might as well go on and think about Dak contract. You might as well go on and do it because it ain't doing no but going up higher and higher. You know,
you got 3 big contracts ahead of you. One can argue for.
But it's just. You might as well, be proactive in it because it ain't gonna do no but just rise up. Even though I think next year they're getting the salary boost and the TV revenue.
Yep.
So you might as well go on and do what you gotta do. Stop the bleeding early.
Man, you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying, man. You got to stop it early, man. You got to get in front of it, and you got to be, like you said, proactive instead of retro. But the Cowboys, they do things in a retroactive type of way. They're 9 times out of 10 not as proactive as we like, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, you got to stop the bleed. Then you're gonna complain about, well, we have to give this much money. You have to fight with them. But we just go on and. You look what you did with Jalen Smith. You gave him a big contract, and I don't even think he was even worth the money that they gave him. But hey, they gave it to him anyway without a fight.
They did. They gave it without a fight at all, man. And let's see.
Not a dog in the fight at all, and they just gave it to him.
Man, you're right on the money.
But my wife been wanting to talk to you. Hang on just one moment.
No worries.
Hey, Lord, I heard what you said. Now I'm a Cowboys fan. I come from a long line of Cowboys fans. You hear me?
So
we
you
talk about basketball.
You make the blue Kool-Aid every year, huh? And you make sure Dwayne blue Kool-Aid. You better drink this Kool-Aid. I got some spikes in this stuff too. Some Patron and everything else. Yes, indeed.
We've been enjoying you. You hear me? We've been listening to you for a long time.
Okay.
So we really enjoy you. Yes.
I appreciate it.
We love to see, and this is not even, the best is yet to come. You hear me? So just stand on it.
Where y'all at? Where y'all from? Where y'all at? And where y'all from?
We from Funky Town, Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth. So that's Funky Town. I'm a transplant. I didn't know what Funky Town was. So y'all saying funky, I was like, man, y'all some funky folks over there, man. So y'all right down the street there. Y'all right down the street. So when I want some hard cornbread and stuff like that, I already know where I'm going then. Hot water. Yeah. See, Dwayne, now I got me some. I'm gonna give me some food now. The nation finna eat.
She can burn. Trust me, she can burn.
She can burn.
Boy, she can do it. She be putting her foot in all of it. You heard me? That's why I'm sitting over here fighting for her right now.
So the other night when I was talking about tacos, she already got that on lock, right? Ceviche, cilantros, and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're welcome anytime. You got an open invitation.
All right, cool. I may look small, but I eat big. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do, and I really thank y'all.
No problem.
Hey.
We got big boys, so you'll fit right on in.
Yes, indeed. So the next meet and greet, I want y'all to come on out, and we're gonna have a funky good time. We're gonna all day. Come on, man. Yeah, come on. I appreciate y'all.
Already. Let's go, Cowboys.
Yes, indeed.
No, Cowboys.
No. Y'all got to say, how about them Cowboys all the way? 5, 4, 3, 2.
How about them Cowboys?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. That's Cowboy Dwayne in his boo thing, all together over there, man. I appreciate y'all. So much. So I learned something. I didn't know what Funky Town, man. Look, they say, man, we're going to take your Dallas card away from you, man. You didn't know who a Funky Town is, man. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, where is that? You know what I'm saying? I bet y'all something like, man, come on, how long you been in Dallas, man? Come on, man.
All I ask
is for you to know what Funky Town is, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
How can I don't know where Funky Town is at, man? But shout out to it, man. Funky Town is where it's at. That's my guy, Choctaw, Montana. He's way in Ohio, and he knows about it, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Hey, they got the better. Which one? Now, for the natives that's here, which zoo is better? The Dallas Zoo or the Funky Town Zoo? You know, let me know, man. You know, let me know. Let me know.
All I ask.
Yes, indeed, Tina Marie. Appreciate you, man. Funky Town, Fort Worth. Come on, man.
All I ask.
You know, I'm just learning, man. I'm learning. I only been here for like 3.5 years, going on 4 years now. So there's still areas that I still use GPS on. I know it. Then I jump on a tollway and I say, man, I'm going to go ahead and pay George Bush all of this money. George Bush, man, he charging out here. I say, God, dog, man. Rape. They raping, you know.
All I ask.
That George Bush turnpike, man, you'll look up, you be like, man, $40. Funky Town for sure. So shout out to everybody, man. All right, so I appreciate y'all so much, man. I thank those who called in. We had a great time over here. And hey, you gonna pay some taxes in Texas, man. Your tollways in Texas, you gonna pay for that over there. They're gonna make sure these roads and stuff gonna be nice, you know.
He ain't lying.
There ain't no potholes all throughout Dallas, man. They charging, man. They charging, you know what I'm saying? Sure, I miss Mississippi, those potholes. We know where they at. You know, we just had to bob and weave, you know what I'm saying? But with no tolls, you know. Come on, Law. You don't know the song Funky Town won't make it. We won't take it to Funky Town. Hey, man, y'all leave me alone, man. You know, because I'm going to be here for a while, man. I'm going to be here for a while. And what my guy said, you know.
On the real, me and your mama are getting real serious. You know, so it looked like I'm going to be around here for a while.
I'll be around here for a while.
I ain't trying to be your daddy or nothing. Yeah. But if you need some advice, feel free to talk to me.
Yes, they don't be around here for a while, man. They've been charging North Dallas toll since I was a little girl. That's from Maryland. Yeah, they charging, man. They charging. You got to make a decision. Do I get gas or do I pay the toll? Well, if I don't get the gas, I won't be able to drive through it, you know. But if I pay the toll, you know, you got to make life decisions, you know. And then you don't want to turn off and get off on that road because they got all the reconstruction, some construction going on. You know, it's crazy, man. I was in Lower Greenville trying to find Trader Joe's, and they still got potholes over there, man. So it's crazy out here in Dallas. But we making it, though. We're making it, but we're not leaving Dallas because we love Dallas, you know. And I agree with the mayor. They need to bring in some more infrastructures downtown, you know, to help it, you know, all around, you know. And I ain't talking about Pound Town, but y'all know what I'm talking about. 30 more likes, y'all hit it up for your boy on this beautiful Friday night. Hey, we could be anywhere in the world. Y'all could have been in the club getting 2-for-1s. And if you're at the club right now, you're still too early. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to pull up at 11 to 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? If you're there right now, you're way too early. Come on, man. You don't want to be the first ones in there. You want to make sure you take your time and wait your turn. Yes, indeed. So if Michael Jordan's son can wait his turn, you shall be able to wait your turn. Yes, indeed. But neither here nor there. The Dallas Cowboys, we've been waiting long enough. We said to everybody in the NFC, we gave you ample enough time to catch up. We gave you a lot of time to keep up. We gave you a lot of time to build your resume. And we've been talking about these boys to update their resume. And a third of these guys haven't been doing that. You know, they have not been updating their resume to keep up and catch up. They like to scoff at the Cowboys' name and legacy. They like to believe, because it's been a long time, that Eli Manning is somehow better than Troy Aikman, somehow better than Roger Staubach. Now, I can go back and forth to talk about Eli versus Tony Romo. But even Romo, in my opinion, and in my thoughts, and for the throwing of the ball and the accolades outside of playoffs, was better than Eli. Eli had better coaching. Give me Tom Coughlin over Jason Garrett any day. But that's a whole other story. The Cowboys' destiny is here. The opportunity is near. And we got to take hold and grab hold to those opportunities because we waited our turn. Now it's time for us to eat. Mama said there will be days just like this, and lo and behold, we are here and we are hungry. Our bellies touching our backs, just like I wanted those tacos yesterday.
All I ask.
So all I'm asking you guys to formulate and get together and be ready for this. We leave nothing on the table. Seize everything. Yes, indeed. That's the mantra of this year. And I'm going to make sure that we do just that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for those who are listening to the nation. Write these funky things down in Funky Town. Dedications, hard work, discipline. Those are the ways of success. And if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or the sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset, with the help of Almighty, you will get it. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. We've been waiting for it, baby. And it's my turn now. But now it's your turn. And I really thank you all for yours. And remember,
all I ask,
you're listening to nothing but the best. That's my sniper gang. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa. Give me my theme music.
Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's roll those credits. I'm so crunk I lost my headset.
I just wanna run
I didn't mean to throw my headset.
Can we check this out? I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field.
Shout out to you, Keith Daniels, JBKG3. Let's go, Clifford Atkins. Appreciate you. Jay Bursick, Brandy, Michael Clark, Sadiq, Jason Winfro, Jangly Echoes, Jangly, Jay Recruiter, Q Dog, Cole, Derek, Zach, Bread Boy, Chris 214, Coach Marv, and Gibson. Come on. Let me see if I get to all of your super chats. If I left out your super chat, charge it to my head, not my heart. Keep in mind, when you super chat for this month, your name is entered into the drawing. Shout out to you, Calvin Richards. Appreciate you for the cash app. Come on.
Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been
really in the field. I got a super chat from Gibson. It says, Law, how can I become a member? Somebody, Demods, help Gibson out. I got a super chat, and thank you for your super chat. I got DNP Nation, appreciate you for the $4.99 for your mind. He says, I'm ready, Law. Let me know. I got to say, stop dodging the smoke. Yes, indeed. DNP Nation. Come on. Chris 214 with the super chat says, Bart Scott just said it's been 8 years for Dak, but he trusts Geno like he hasn't been on hot garbage himself. Okay, yeah, you're right. Appreciate y'all for the super chat. Come on. Come on. We didn't see any Eagles guys in here, but just to keep the flow going for my Eagles community. Oh my goodness, man.
I talk stuff. I thought we had it. But it goes to show you who's a better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt.
Oh man. Somebody give that man some Kleenex, man. Just one more time.
Let's go, Birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl chance.
Jeez. That boy right there. Let's go, Birds fly, Eagles fly. Let me know when they get old, y'all, and I'll change it up and I'll switch it up. But in the meantime, in the between time for your mind. Come on. Come on. 55. Appreciate you for this $20 super chat. Appreciate you. Where my wallpaper at? The best wallpaper in the land. Yeah. Thank you. Looking for it. And you. Appreciate you for this $20 super chat again. Don't let the street lights hit you. Don't let them hit you, baby. Shout out for the 2-for-1s. 2-for-1s out there. Y'all make sure that you send a drink over to the lady. Player 2, I follow. Thank you. Wherever you go, whatever you do. Hey. Player 2. Come on. In another one. 7 more and another one. And another one. Dolphy. Let's go, Bird. Peter. We gonna pre-apologize for this bird. Go get that bird. Down. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player 2? I'll follow. Come on. Wherever you go, whatever you do. Come on, Parsons. Player 2. Let's go, man. Let's go. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly,
around here for a while.
then
I ain't
forever
trying to
doesn't
be
feel
your daddy,
that far.
but if you need some advice, feel free to talk to me.
So far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on. Hey, y'all thought I was gone, baby. No, y'all stay hang tight with the nation, baby. The nation never sleeps. Come on. Come on. Hey. Yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. Come on. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Hey. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. Just bounce your shoulders with the nation. Come on. Hey. Friday time. Come on.
Bruh.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Come on. Let's get it.
Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize.
I want me some glory hole.
Come on, Uncle Charles, where you at?
Spartans! Prepare for glory!
Come on. Eagle fans.
Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
Let's go. Y'all can tell I'm old school. Hey, let's go. Until next time, baby. DC for life. Salute.